Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the MinnMax Show, a place about games, friends, getting better, coming to you in the first real way in 2026 for the first time. I'm Ben Hansen, joined by Jeff Marchiafava.
It's me.
The Baby Steps captain himself. It'll never come up again. Don't worry, folks. We're also joined by Jacob Geller.
New year, new me.
That's right, joined by Kyle Hilliard.
Hello.
And joined by Kelsey Lewin.
We're back.
We're here. Thanks for having us, everybody. That was a big break for us, but hopefully it didn't feel like a big break for you if you're just listening regularly. But thanks for sticking with us. We have a lot of fun stuff to unpack in this year episode of the podcast. 2025 is not over in more ways than one. We have, based on hundreds and hundreds of votes, the community's list of the 210s. Their hive mind take on the best games that come out last year. We'll run through all that. We're going to be talking about, this must be a mistake, Baby Steps. We're also going to be talking about a game called Mini Knights of Whisper, Octopath Traveler 0. We are talking about Avatar, The Way We Should Be, Terminator 2D, No Fate, Rhythm Doctor coming up again, Wednesdays, a couple of 2025 mop-ups that we're excited to talk about, then back half of the show. We have great questions submitted over there on Patreon. Thanks everybody for submitting questions on Patreon, for supporting us on Patreon. A huge thank you to everybody who jumped up to the Backstage Pass tier. That was colossal, the number of people that jumped up to unlock the Pissy Zone or early access to the debates. More people than ever. We run through all the stats on this week's episode of Bonus Pod if you're curious about the exact analytics for all that. But all that's to say, that level of support is really a direct line to something exciting, which is we are hiring a production assistant here at MinnMax. And so I wanted to give you a chance, if you're listening, to jump in and apply at job@minnmax.com is where you send your resume and examples of your work. But production assistant, that can mean a lot of things. Here's what it means to us. We need help with video editing, making social clips, with Photoshop. So if you have skills in those areas, experience in those areas, please send everything you got to job@minnmax.com. This is a contract position for 6 months. It's remote, obviously. Hopefully you know that. It's part-time, but we'd love to work with you. We have a ton of applications. Heads up, we have 140 so far.
Amazing. I was when you announced this, I was like, "Are you running out of people? Don't we already have like an overwhelming number to go through?"
We have an overwhelming number. So many people are so unbelievably talented, but I felt bad that we never let people know on the podcast because we get a lot of people over the years who reach out and send me messages to be like, "Hey, are you guys hiring? Are you guys hiring?" And I always say, when we are, you will know. And so I felt bad like locking this down before mentioning it on the podcast. So you can send in your resume, job@minnmax.com. And again, thank you to everybody for supporting us on Patreon, which directly allows us to hire somebody new. This is not going to be an on-air person. It's fully behind-the-scenes production work, but I could use the help, and it'll help us take our content to new heights, everybody. The MinnMax community. You know them. You love them. Smart batch, I think we all agree. Smart as the day is long. And so thanks to Neil, the mod in the Discord here, we have compiled a list of the 210s. We have our own personal 210s that we locked down and we're all feeling great about in the last episode.
One of us had one of us had 20, right? That was Haley.
Right. But I mean, for collectively, the 210s, you know?
I know.
But the community voted. Thanks to Neil for corralling everybody. We got 781 responses for this is their take on what the best games of 2025 are. Should I start from the bottom and work my way up?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Number 20, according to the community hive mind, Elden Ring Night Rain. There it is.
Glad it got on.
Yeah. Number 19, Consume Me. Glad it got on. Number 18,
Whoa.
Despelote. Glad it got on. It's interesting those two are right next to each other.
Hold
right?
on, this next one, I'm going to be glad it got on. Just a heads up. I just want to get ahead of it.
I think the only person glad it's going to go down is Kelsey. But
This is currently like mine in reverse. It's like,
number 17, Monster Hunter Wilds.
Woohoo!
Number 16, I believe this is, for stuff that was included, this is the biggest gap between our list and where it was on the community's list. Does anybody have a guess for what would be the biggest discrepancy there?
wait, that was on both?
It's on both.
Oh, it's on both. Okay.
Yeah, but it's on 16 here.
Oh, is it like baby steps?
It is baby steps.
So-
Yep. Number 16
Yeah,
baby
okay.
steps. Yep. Then 15, interesting. Mario Kart World. Way to go, community. Then 14 is Avowed. 13 is Arc Raiders. 12, Silent Hill F. 11, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. 10, Citizen Sleeper 2. Whoa.
Wow.
That community
That's
is
high.
playing. That is really high. Something's wrong. Go back and count the votes again. Number 9 is Split Fiction. Number 8 is Dispatch. Number 7, Ghost of Yote. Number 6, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. Number 5, anyone want to take a guess at number 5? The Great Injustice.
Blueprints.
No.
Donkey Kong
Bonanza, number 5.
Smart people over
yeah,
there at our community.
Number 4, does anybody want to take a stab at the next Great Injustice?
Hades 2.
Hades 2, correct, number 4. Number 3 is Blueprints. Number 2,
Okay.
Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight Silksong. And number 1, with over double the votes compared to number 2, is Clear Obscure Expedition 33.
You know, Game Informer's reader vote was similar. Like, it was like huge Clear Obscure, and then number 2 was like way below it, if that makes sense, you know?
I mean, I know we podcasted about 2025 for like 15 hours. I still feel like I'm processing what a weird year that was for, you know, the not having too many huge AAA big publisher games at the top of people's lists, but specifically the part that just I'm trying to square in my brain as I fall asleep every night is the idea that we had 2 juggernauts, at least 1,000 juggernauts, right? But 2 juggernauts with Clair Obscure and Hollow Knight Silksong, and how they're both, to call it hardcore maybe is unfair for Clair Obscure, but like, you know, throwback genres in some ways, and they just crack to new heights of popularity. And like that kind of, I don't know, resurgence of elements from the past, you know, if you want to go back to, you know, Super Metroid and stuff for Hollow Knight, Silksong, and JRPGs for Clair Obscure, combined with stuff like Roblox and Grow a Garden, where 14 billion people are playing every second, whatever the hell. Like, just, what a weird year where like the people who are hardcore gamers are clinging to like these hardcore, nostalgic push to the future experiences while this juggernaut is building of people playing garbage.
Did you see there is some, I can't remember what report it was, so apologies, but it was some list of like the top 5 most played games in 2025.
Yes.
Was exactly the same list as the top 5 most played games of 2024.
Yes.
It was Fortnite,
Wow.
Minecraft, GTA 5, Roblox, something else.
Yeah, it's the scary
Wow.
spot. And like PC seems like people are playing a little bit different things, but in terms of console, it's like, I'm good. I've got my games. Arc Raiders might get in there every once in a while now, but Neil also compiled a cool list, which is the top 10 most underrated games, which is games that he describes as not on many lists, but ranked highly by the people who played them. So, yeah,
Were
I
they
like
my games?
I'm looking at these.
Where's 100 Line Defense Academy on that?
That is not included
Great
in
Children.
here. Oh, actually,
okay.
one is your game. Kelsey, you want to guess one of your
Great
favorites?
Children?
No, not on there. Sorry.
Oh.
Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma. Wait, no, I'm sorry.
I didn't play that.
What was that other game that you played that if you remix those letters, it says the same thing? The one that was like Hades, but not Hades, and you made a sword?
And the Guardian.
Toa.
Oh,
Toa.
Guardians of Toa?
Toa and the Sacred Guardians of the Tree or whatever.
Okay,
it's called.
sorry. I saw Guardians and Azuma, and I got distracted. You're right, that's not your game entirely.
Chelsea, number 1 fan, throws
boy.
or whatever.
Totally remembers
Look,
the
I
name.
also
Wow.
still
I
don't
don't
know the title for 100 Lines, so it's all good.
No judgment here. It's not memorable.
Okay, here, so top 10 most underrated games. Number 10, Power Wash Simulator 2, according to our community. Then Revenge of the Savage Planet got in there. I was like, I enjoyed my time with the game. I went back to it with my nephews, actually. Eric Scholm, The Stolen Dream. I had
Like a stealth. Yeah.
Really? It's not like
Yeah.
someone's name. Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma, Star of Providence.
Kelsey's favorite from, okay.
Yeah, that's right. Kelsey won't stop talking about the runes and the factories.
I felt bad that I forgot Star of Providence. It was kind of like Sectori took over the twin stick shooter spot in my
Yeah.
mind, but like Star of Providence was really cool, and I you know, if I had spent the amount of time that I did with it with Sectori, or vice versa.
Yeah. I mean, we got it. It was on the big list, you know, like it was remembered in some way there. I think it is a cool game
It's
for
also
sure.
like a weird one where it's kind of like it was like a remake.
It was out for like several years.
It's kind of a
wasn't
big
Yeah.
expansion
Got a big
overhaul.
update,
Yeah.
you know?
kinda,
I guess that's true.
Yeah. Then 5 is Angeline Era, which I don't know if anybody else checked that game out, but I played it over the break,
that is.
a bit of it, and it is super cool. Lena Rain.
Angeline Era?
Yeah, what is the? I've seen people talking about it, but I don't understand like what kind of game it is.
It's a great question. Looking at the images, I was like, oh, it's like a throwback kind of PS1 JRPG. I was excited because I looked at screenshots. I was like, oh, it kind of looks like Legend of Legaia, like one of my favorite PS1 RPGs. This is going to be awesome. And it's not really that. It's more freeform, openish, and it feels, the best comparison I heard is it kind of feels like an old PC adventure-ish type game where you're exploring this world, but still with RPG elements, but you can kind of go any direction you want. And it is definitely cool. So Angeline Era's nailed that one. 4 is Repo. 3, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, of course. And then number 2, I could give you all 1,000 guesses, 1,000 years. Jeffem, you want to take a stab at what number 2 is for the most underrated games?
Was it one that we had on our big list?
In fact, I would drill everybody at MinnMax, and I bet no one would be able to name this game.
Is it the omelet game that people keep telling me to play?
Close. It's Europa Universalis 5. Is very high
I'm
up.
pretty sure my partner's playing that one. all those kind of games.
Those people.
The biggest holes at MinnMax are fighting games and spreadsheet games.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like, Sarah and Jeffem, I feel like they're spreadsheet flirtatious, if I may be so bold. Like, it's possible. But then number 1 is Grimshire for underrated games. Not on many lists, but ranked highly. So thanks, everybody, for submitting those. I think Neil in the Discord is going to share even more stats if you want a bigger breakdown of all those fun games. And I look at that and, sorry to get tangential out of the gate, but I keep thinking about, is there something you can do with that hive mind that would be fun and beneficial for the podcast audience? This feels like it's a Monday meeting discussion, but I was like, is there something for every game we talk about on the podcast, we survey the community in the Discord and get an average score, and those are MinnMax's review scores? It's just sharing.
MinnMax goes pluribus.
Yeah.
Just mush everyone together.
I mean, there's something, I guess it's just kind of Steam reviews without, review bombing, but I was like, would that be helpful, or is it just I don't know, people want to hear our takes?
They assign a letter grade or something based on how we talked about it on the podcast.
No, the opposite is completely separate. We talk about the podcast we want to talk about, but then it's by the way, the community has this as an 8.75.
Oh, I see. I see. Gotcha.
I don't know. I think there's probably an easier route of just maybe doing more GOTY check-ins for the community, because I think it is fun to see what a hive mind is recommending to play, because there's so many things that we obviously can miss, even with 9 of us. Just too many of us missed a game called Baby Steps that came out last year, and despite Jeffem screaming about it, sometimes it took some people a holiday break before they finally dove in.
But it was because of Jeffem screaming about it. To be clear, 1,000% the passion of the 210s is why I picked this up. And I tried with Keep Driving as well, but I had the same issues with that as before. But Baby Steps, click, click, click.
You're not alone.
A good thing?
Yes, I clicked with it.
Oh,
okay.
good.
Okay.
I thought that was the X button.
I thought you were triple clicking it or something. I was confused.
I mean, it is the overwhelming piece of feedback. I think I mentioned in Slack that thank you to Jeffem for making the defining discussion in our 210s, because the amount of people that said your speech about Baby Steps made them cry, or your speech about Baby Steps made them buy the game, or made them buy the game and then they cried in regret. It was kind of a combination of all of those things. But
I saw a couple of YouTube comments that said that they had watched it live. They were commenting, right when the video came out, and they said that they played it because of me and they really enjoyed it.
Yes.
So there you go.
It does happen.
When Jacob had messaged me privately and just said, I played Baby Steps, or I beat Baby Steps, Merry Christmas. And my reply to him was borderline apologetic because that's all he said. And I was like, I hope you at least got something out of it. And then he told me that he loved it, and that made me very, very happy to see.
Jeffem, I beat it 3 times over the holiday break.
What are you talking about?
Well, you're the new Baby Steps master then.
It was, because the whole thing of that is you feel yourself getting better the whole time, and then as soon as you finish, you're I want to go to the place where I spent an hour and just do it first try. And that is literally what, there's a section of the game that's called the Man Breaker that's basically like, here's this impossible challenge. You can just walk upstairs, but if you want to do the impossible challenge, you can. And my first run through, I spent like 6 hours on it before giving up and going up the stairs. And my second run through, literally 2 tries.
Whoa.
Just like,
Oh my
just
God.
walked right up it. And it was like, it feels amazing to be like good at that game that is constantly like, learn what it feels like to be bad at a game.
And are you having
Is it a game you
epiphanies?
have to restart, or can you like play it and beat it and then sort of keep exploring, the world?
You can do that, but I found it more fun to just be like held. You don't gain any abilities, so it's not
Right.
really like different either way. I just liked the idea of having a fresh start. But at the end, there's literally like a diving board that you can jump off of and you land where the game began.
That's perfect. Are you like having epiphanies as you're playing it, or like looking up strats, or is it just like muscle memory, just like grinding through it to get to the point that then you can fly?
It's mostly muscle memory. There was one thing that was, what was really fun is I just happened to be playing it at basically exactly the same time as Rebecca Valentine on Blue Sky, and I really enjoy her posting through the game she's playing. I just think that she's like entertaining at it. And so we were talking about it a little bit, and like she was like, you don't always have to pick your foot all the way up. And that was like the one piece of like tech that I got, where it's like if you pull the trigger all the way down, your knee goes all the way up. But if you pull the trigger a little bit down, you can kind of, often your knee will get in the way of you doing things. And so you can more like swing your leg out to the side. But other than that, what's fun is like, you don't really know why you got better. You just did. You can just do things that took you hours earlier, and you can kind of do them effortlessly.
And that's what makes those choke points so amazing, because you get there and it's like, if you think about it too much, that's when it all falls apart.
Yes.
Because whatever made you better at it just kind of happens naturally. So as soon as you get in your own head, like you completely choke and you fall down half the mountain. And like, I thought that after I gave that speech that like maybe I would think about baby steps less. And I still think about it every goddamn day.
Every day? It's your Advance Wars for cereal?
It is just such a fascinating design. Like I can't stop thinking about the idea of like the game is hard because they took out all the things that people put into games to make them easy. And like the response to that of people being like, well, they see 5 minutes of it or they play 5 minutes of it and they're like, nope, not for me. I don't want anything to do like that like juxtaposition of game design, like getting at a core game design still like I still think about that all the time. Is the idea that we like to play games, or do we like winning games? Do we like being good at games? Because like those are two different things in my mind. If you're gonna play a game, to me, like they're like it's a challenge, and you should be able to be bad at it. And it feels like we're so allergic to that like we will just run the other way if a game makes us feel bad. And why does it make us feel bad in the first place? When we're like not succeeding immediately at it. Those are the kind of things that like I can't get out of my mind.
Yeah, I think it's a really good. It was almost like it was like a reset or something in some way, because it's like, I think about like with multiplayer games now. Multiplayer games used to not have progression systems, and you would just play them because they were fun. Right. And now they all have progression systems, and if they don't, I'm like, I'm wasting my time. Why am I playing this game? Even though presumably I do it because I am having fun. And like early on in Baby Steps, there's like a tower that is incredibly hard to climb, and when you were climbing it, there's a guy who shows up, and he's like, there is nothing at the top of it. There is no item, there is no cutscene, there is no trophy, there is nothing there. And I was like, I'm gonna do it because it seems fun, and I did, and there is nothing at the top. You just get up there, and there's nothing, But it's like I didn't feel disappointed in doing it, and I think one of the reasons that I replayed it so many times is like, it is literally just like the act of playing is fun and not necessarily what you are achieving is fun, but just like literally clicking buttons is a great time.
Was it homework? I mean, Jacob, do you feel like we're not going back and relitigating everybody's top 10s and stuff, but is it one of those that's like, oh no, this would have been a defining game for me in 2025?
It maybe would. I don't feel bad for not playing it beforehand. I like the experience of being convinced. I think part of my enjoyment is actually there's so much about expectation setting that affects how much we enjoy things. And me going into this being like, this is going to be absolutely brutal and I just need to be okay with it, made me actually feel like the game was like surprisingly forgiving, that there are not that many, where it's like when I was set back, I would be like, oh, I'm only set back like 2 minutes. And then like the areas when you are set back 20 minutes are hilarious, because they happen infrequently. But like going in with a mindset that was, largely the mindset that Jeffem gave us during the 210s, I think put me in the right headspace to be enjoying it more. So it didn't feel like homework.
Yeah.
I truly enjoyed it.
Well, congratulations, Jeffem. You got him.
There's a weird thing too with it. I can't remember if I mentioned it, but like I got more frustrated at this game in the beginning, however many hours when I was playing it. And when I think back on it now, like the most frustrating parts are like the most charismatic parts to me now. Like when I think about like the two cactuses on either side of the bridge that makes you fall into the river, like that makes me smile every time I think about it. I was cursing that for hours. It felt so unfair. And it's like, in hindsight, the farther that it gets by or behind me, like all of those moments falling into the river, like everything, it's just such a charming and unique game that like my affection for it has only grown, and I'm glad that some more people in the community got to try it out because I forced them to, apparently.
I do also want to say I haven't started playing it, but I bought Stray Children, and I intend to try it.
Wow.
And so it's like I respect my colleagues. I was persuaded.
I don't know. I heard you confessing to the Pope, saying that you didn't want to play the games that we liked because you thought they were all going to be bad. So I don't know what to believe anymore.
Well, that just makes me feel bad for not playing Baby Steps.
Only there was some solution.
Yeah, I mean, I could say it's fine again, but I'm not going to anymore. Everyone should try it.
Even me.
It may change your life. You may be the next Jacob, Kelsey. You may get to the top of the mountain and you'll be like, wow, this was transformative. Right. And I'm glad I forced myself to do it.
You are wildly convincing, to be honest. This is a game that I have. If I stop and remove all of this from the equation for a moment, I'm like, what am I doing? I would hate this. This sounds horrible. But then I listen to you and I listen to Jacob and I'm like, wow, maybe this will change my life. Maybe I should play this.
Kelsey, worst case scenario, just listen to some podcasts, sit back, enjoy it. Like, it's good podcasting.
It is an amazing podcast game.
Yeah, it's like the amount of time that you would spend on it wouldn't even be a prologue in a JRPG. Like, you can spare 30 hours.
Even, I mean, and it's like people will spend different amounts of time with this, but it's like for how hard it is not that long of a game.
Yeah.
It's like, especially if you don't do the optional super challenging stuff, it's like, 12, 13 hours, like with all the setbacks.
Okay. All right. Depending a lot on how many setbacks.
I mean, I don't think I'm as good at games as you guys are, but
hey, give it a whirl.
That's encouraging.
Baby steps, everybody. It'll never die and it'll never grow old. Just like cooking. Jeffem, it's a brand new year, ain't it? Check your calendar.
Yeah,
and
factor meals.
No, keep going. No. Let's keep going.
Huh?
That's right, Jeffem. HelloFresh, of course.
God damn it.
You get pre-portioned food delivered right to your doorstep. Makes cooking easy.
They don't send it to my doorstep, so I don't remember. I don't have boxes of that all over of delicious food that would make prep work so easy.
Look, I have zero complaints.
It's good
about my paternity leave.
Share.
That's right. That's exactly. It was Jacob, I think, during my paternity leave. He was like, it's good because he's not sharing. I have to do it because I'm the only one that's guaranteed to be on the episodes. You got to map it out months in advance. But that being said, I was like, you know what? Paternity leave, I need all the easy food I can get, and being able to cook some delicious, wonderful meals with HelloFresh, truly great. Plus, have these bags of ingredients ready to go. Cook with your kids. It's so much fun. You know, the little 2.5-year-old, he is all about cooking. He's all about helping out in the kitchen. Give yourself some good family time with HelloFresh. They have over 100 mouth-watering recipes each week. Check everybody's mouths in the podcast, because they're going to start watering once I start listing these off. They have seasonal favorites to global dishes like herb-crusted chicken, roasted garlic salmon, spicy white bean lentil ragu, and portobellos. Oh, it's too watery. They're healthy. They are tasty. I use this regularly, and I love HelloFresh. As HelloFresh says, because when dinner tastes this good, nothing hits like home cooking. So you can go to HelloFresh.com/MinnMax10FM to get 10 free meals, plus a free zwilling knife. Is that how you pronounce that?
I just don't know what that is.
A free Swag, whatever that Genesis RTS is called, knife. It's a $145 value, but you get it on your third box. The offer is valid while supplies last. Free meals applied as discount on first box, new subscribers only, and it varies by the plan. Thanks to HelloFresh. Check out the description for more info. Okay, Kelsey, now it's your turn to get Jeff into Octopath Traveler 0, no matter what.
Yeah, I don't know that that's happening.
Come on, don't sell yourself short. You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah, I've been playing Octopath Traveler 0, which I think came out in December, so I did not touch it until over the break. I have put, I think, about 20-something hours into it, which, guys, that means I'm a whole 1/4 of the way through this game.
That's 2 baby steps.
Welcome to your curse.
I'm a little intimidated by the length of this one. I think Octopath Traveler in general is such a strong series for the artistic direction, for the music, especially just incredible music in that. And then for the battle system, which they have overhauled in this game. So you now have like a front line and a back line. You have 8 characters in your party at any given time that you can be swapping in and out in the middle of battle, which makes for the game, I think, compensates with a little bit more of a challenge. But you have way more tools in your arsenal. You can kind of decide, where you're putting certain people and the different classes to make it better for swapping out. Some classes will heal and then immediately move to the back row, and some classes will, just hit really hard with a couple of different weapons. And so I found that to be really fun. There's apparently 30 characters in this game. I have 11 or 12.
Yeah, it was like when you said you could have 8 people, I was like, yes, the Octopath. But
no.
not.
Oh, no, eight all at the same time in battle at the same time, which has not been the case for the other Octopath Traveler games. So,
interesting.
So I'm really, really enjoying the battle system in this one. It still has that thing where you can sort of save up action points and then unleash them all at once. And it's a really, really good, one of my favorite turn-based battle systems in any JRPG right now.
Yeah.
It's got some very fun little stories so far and I think this is just on my mind because of our end of the year discussions last year. There's some not great writing in this. There's also some moments of very good writing.
Okay.
But there are some moments where you've got some just cartoonish, not charming tropiness in there, which has been mostly very quick, mostly pretty easy to skip past. But it's one of those games where you want to probably play the Japanese voice acting because it won't be quite as jarring to listen to in Japanese. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a game that's it was originally a phone game and then they've reworked it for. Does it feel like that when you're playing it?
No, surprisingly. So the phone game part of this, from what I understand, was there's a town building segment of it, which is pretty optional to engage with, but it's just kind of a fun, some of it's purely aesthetic and just for fun if you want to plant flowers and make the area look nice. But some of it is I'm going to recruit this random person because they will sometimes drop off medical supplies, and this person will give a 2 times yield to the cooking ingredients that we grow, and that sort of thing. So I've been doing a little bit of stuff with that. My understanding is that the mobile game, monetized some of that stuff, but then it also apparently monetized some of these side characters. And
weird.
That is the part where I'm like, I don't even see the through line. Like, I don't know how they reworked it, or if it was like, I don't know, you would just talk to someone and then a pop-up would show up and be like, you must pay 400 crystals to talk to this person, but none of that is evident in the game. It all flows very, very naturally.
That's so nice, because I feel like, I think just knowing that lineage of like, oh, okay, it's just a new version of the somewhat gross phone version. Like, my expectations were pretty low for this, and then I was really surprised, when it came out in December, and everyone's like, wait, no, it's quite good. And like, I do feel like for JRPG sickos at this point, like the Octopath series is like one of the strongest out there. Like Octopath Traveler 2, I feel like since it released even, is just kind of grown and grown in people's estimation of like, nope, that's actually one of the best JRPGs of all time at this point.
Yeah, Octopath Traveler 2 is incredible. I really, really love that game. And this one, I mean, again, I am loving nearly every part of this. There are the moments that I think are kind of lame and tropey are usually over pretty quickly, which is, that's not like praise, but it is like, okay, you get through it and then you're back to the stuff that you do like. So yeah, I'm still enjoying it. Some of the characters are very good, and some of the characters are very power of friendship and that sort of thing. So
sure. And it's like a prequel, so it has like some characters that appear later in the series and stuff.
Yeah, that's it. There's definitely a lot of references to things that appear in the later series. I would probably have to go back and see if some of the character names match.
Sure.
Like the concept is you are bearing these rings that you're eventually going to fight and kill God, save the world, whatever, your sort of standard JRPG fare. But those ring bearers are referenced in the other games. I just don't remember if they're like named, and if they're named like the same members as your party members.
Right. So do you think you're going to be like sticking with this throughout the year? This is going to be like a JRPG
I'm going to really
for a while?
try. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely quite long. I would love if this was more like a 50 or 60 hour experience rather than what it looks like it's supposed to be like 80 plus hours.
Yeah.
Which is steep for this because it's quite good. But I ran into this towards the end of Octopath Traveler 2 when I started running out of steam, where I was like, I love this battle system. I love this music. You can still only do that for so many hours if you're kind of beating on the same drums for the most part.
Right.
Everything I've read review-wise says that the story really crystallizes in the like last third in a really wonderful, fantastic way. So I'm going to do my best to stick with it. Still really enjoying it so far. I'm not burning out yet, but I do feel like give me another 30 hours and I might be like, God, I still have another 30 to go.
Yeah, you can't. Hey, that's your burden. And there's like there's demos out for all the systems too that carry into the game if you want to check out Octopath Traveler 0, see how it compares to the other stuff. But Kelsey, God bless you for doing it. Playing good games.
I'm enjoying it.
That's sweet. Octopath Traveler 0. Jacob, how did Mini Knights of Whisper get on your radar?
I was looking through my wish list and it was on it, but I think the reason that it was on it was either because of our underrated games bonus pod, or I don't know if you've ever seen, but like NPR does like a roundup of the best games of the year, which is really long and just has kind of contributors from like, I don't know, it's like 60 games or something. And I was on there, but it has a really cool hook. And so I was like, I just want to play like a one sitting game basically that can be a cool experience. And the pitch of Many Knights of Whisper is you are a character who has been training their entire life to make a single slingshot shot. And in the game, you essentially get one chance to make that shot or not.
It's so cool.
And that's what the game is, and that's all I knew going in. But it was just like, what a cool... I love the idea of just like you get one chance.
Yep.
And so that was kind of what got me playing it.
It's like, this is the weirdest analogy for an indie game called Mini Knights of Whisper, but like feels a little bit like Top Gun Maverick. You know, it's like it's all building to like that one mission, which is just constant training for this one thing. And in this, it is just like practicing lobbing your shot in the slingshot, and you're lighting different kind of urns on fire, and you see the one in the distance that you're getting closer and closer towards. And it's like, you know that eventually it's all going to come down to that. And it's not just for the sake of it. The world's on the line here, because the idea is people are asking you to grant their wishes. And if you make the shot, everybody's wishes come true. And if you don't make the shot, it's like 10 years of hell on earth or something.
Well, it's specifically anything they wished for does not happen.
Right.
So it's
Will
not
never
like
happen. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like if they wish like I get a girlfriend, then if you make it, they get a girlfriend, and if you don't, they never get a girl. Like they don't have an opportunity.
That's so good. Yeah. So it came out April of last year. But Jeff, you got a chance to play it too?
Yeah, I did. It took I went into it completely blind because Jacob said to play it, and it took about 5 seconds for it to get your hooks
Yes.
into you. And it, like above and beyond that, I found like the world building was really cool. The actual ritual of, okay, you're the dreamer. People are going to come tell you their dreams, but it happens at night. You kneel next to a wall, and there's a hole in the wall, and they feed the braid of their hair through, which they've been growing for the past 10 years
For
to
this
cultivate
wish.
this wish. And then they tell you the wish, and as they're telling it to you, you decide to either cut their braid off, which means you're accepting their wish, or you just sit there and wait for them. They're like pleading with you, and then after they're done, there's a moment, and then they have like this little ritual that they have to say, which is basically like, if you don't do it now, like my dream's gonna go away. And you just kind of sit there and you wait, and then the sad little ponytail gets pulled back up, and they walk back up, and they put it all on you to like decide. There's like a moral. It like the impetus is up to you of like which dreams do you want to act, like which are worthy and which aren't, and immediately the character's like, how am I supposed to like decide this? And your mentor, who's like the one who's been training you the entire time, is like, I can't say anything. It's like it's all up to you. Like,
and it's
some dreamers in the past, like the one dreamer said yes to every wish, and it was a crazy 10 years, and like, but it's completely up to you, and I'm not going to judge you no matter what you do. And then it's just this constant procession of people with different moral quandaries, and some are funny, and the entire time you're like, yeah, well, that sounds fair.
It's like I've never been in that position in a game before, I don't think, of like you're just choosing whether or not to grant wishes. And it is a fun thing. Like I was explaining this game to a friend, and they're like, why wouldn't you just grant everything? I'm like, well, because it feels kind of monkey paws. Somebody comes there and they're like, hey, I want this person to fall madly in love with me. And it's a little bit like the genie rules from Aladdin, and it's like, if we're messing with other people's brains, I think that's gonna be my no-go.
Yeah.
It's so good. I mean, and Ben, it reminded me a lot of 8 Billion Genies,
Totally.
which is a graphic novel that we talked about last year. But like, it's so funny because the environment that you see looks very kind of, I don't know, like Greek fantasy almost. But then the wishes are very terrestrial and grounded. Like one of my favorite ones is someone comes up and it's like, I got a no-brainer for you. Make smoking cheap and healthy. Like, they're just like, think about how many lives you would save if cigarettes were good for you. And if, when you smoked them, you got healthier. And I was like, you know what? I don't see a way that can go bad. And so then it was like a wish grant.
I cut that braid too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like the interesting part here is like, it's easy if you're having, if you're stuck about like, I don't know whether to grant this or not, to err on one side or the other. But the idea is the reason people are growing their braids out is you're then using their hair to make your slingshot stronger so you can lob your one fireball further to get to the final urn.
To get to the chalice.
Yeah, so I talked to a friend who said that he did not grant enough wishes and he literally couldn't reach it.
Oh,
Like
weird.
by the end, it's like the slingshot couldn't even get to the final urn. And I was like, wow, I didn't know they would like let you do that.
And the best part, by the way, I was very hot on this game. So it's from a team called Deconstruct Team. And I was like, God, do I need to go back and play all their games? Because in 2018, they released Red Strings Club, which I remember JV Gwaltney back at Game Informer is all about.
Oh, yeah.
And I was kind of like, yeah, that sounds nice, whatever. And then they released the Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood a couple years ago that Sarah was really hot on. And I was like, oh, that sounds nice, whatever. And now I'm like, wait a minute, have I been sleeping on this team for so many years now? But like, it's so good because it all builds up to like, all right, now take the shot. And I love it. And I hope it's not BS, but they actually say like, and by the way, no save scrubbing. Like, I don't know what it means, but we deleted your save. Like, this is truly your one shot. Don't blow it. And like, so I was trying to measure it and in practice runs, like, okay, can I line it up this way and try? I took a picture of my screen to be like, if I'm this angle, this far, then I can for sure make it. But then they turn out all the lights for the final shot. So it is just like instinct.
That's the other nice thing of like, you don't even have crosshairs on the screen. Like you have nothing. And so you're trying, like, the way that I did it was I counted like 5 posts out on the fence, and I would walk up to that exact spot, and then I would just kind of try and memorize like where on the landscape I can position my arm. Every day that I woke up, I got in the same spot and I walked to that same spot and I made those shots, and it felt like I was really practicing, like I had been practicing 10 years for this.
It's totally,
moment.
I mean, it's like when you're watching basketball and you just watch a player make a free throw. And it's like, this is the same literally every time. Like, how is it possible that you don't just make every single free throw? And it's like, well, because no one does, because it is. And so it's like, yeah, I would kind of, it's like while practicing, I would like walk away and I would like spin myself around and I would go back and I'd be like, can I just do it first try? And there is so much pressure. But then I should say, like, I talked to my friend who didn't make it, and he was like, the ending where you don't make the shot is also really good.
Ooh,
that like, there's like, I think the writing is good for both of them, and I intend to play it again and maybe intentionally not make it, because like I just the game seems to have such a good grasp on what it is that I was pretty confident that if you messed it up, it wouldn't be like, sucks to be you, wasted your time with this game.
Yeah, totally. And it's like you can finish it in an hour or two, I think, at the most here. It's pretty breezy, but it's on Steam, and it's like, it's $3 on Steam. When we talk about the slam dunk no-brainers, it's like, I had such a good time with this game. And then the worst was like, I was with some friends and they wanted to watch something, and I was at the end, I was at the final shot. I was like, guys, I can't explain how important it is to you that I just finished this game right now, because it's all been building to one button press, and I need to see if I can do it. But yeah, the game is called...
Do you play with a controller? Is it like a Steam Deck game?
I played on
like
Steam Deck.
Very much mouse dependent.
I played on Steam Deck, yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
you
cool.
can do it. But Mini Knights of Whisper is the name of that game, which is quite sweet. Hey, did you guys know Subset Games, right? Remember them? From
Remind us.
FTL and Into the Breach. Some of the best games period over the last 10 years here. Did you know that they released a new game in 2025 and no one on Earth talked about it?
No.
No, I didn't.
They released a game called Fulcrum Defender, which I didn't even have on my radar until we did like a big roundup on Patreon, and a bunch of friends of the show and stuff included their top 10s of the year. And JJ Birch, the researcher from Blank Check, the guy who's constantly fired, he had it on his list. And I was like, what is this? It's not on Steam. What is this? Turns out it was a Playdate game within Playdate Season 2. But Subset Games made this game called Fulcrum Defender that is quite good. Jacob, it's in the arena of your twin stick shooters at this point.
Okay.
But it is in that arcade game meets roguelike, I suppose, right? Where it's just kind of you're defending the center of the screen from bullets and different objects coming in, and then you're upgrading your path and choosing different weapons, and you can get like a giant mace and just like whip it around in this sci-fi game to try and keep these enemies off you and stuff. But it's cool.
This looks like such a good Playdate game.
Yeah, and of course,
you're using the crank to aim?
You're using the
Is that
crank
what
to
it's
like rotate which direction you're aiming in this 360-degree thing. And so it's very fun to like try and dial it in with that tiny little crank as you're shooting with up and down on the D-pad there. It's a fun.
I was gonna say, I was like, well, I know fulcrum is a super sexy word that everyone wants to put in their title, but is the meaning of fulcrum like that's what you're doing with the Playdate
That's
crank?
exactly it. Yeah. It's a good time. And like, Kelsey, I know we have a soft spot in our hearts for Playdate after visiting Panic and stuff, but like, I feel bad for not being more glued into Season 2 in particular. And so I bought the entire pack. You know, Blippo Plus is in there, which is cool to have on a play date. But it seems like Fulcrum Defender is like one of the best of the batch. There's another game called Tiny Turnip, which is kind of like a climbing game that people are also really hot on. But then there's another one called Dig Dig Dino that, of course, I dug into, and it was also quite good at just digging up dinosaur bones and stuff and kind of scavenging this area. But it is just that reminder, like if you have a play date, have a nice Sunday morning and just go sit next to a sunny window and just play through some season 2 games. Like you will have a blast. Kelsey, you will have a blast if you jump into season 2, I swear.
How much is season 2?
It's like $30.
$39. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just 30. Yeah. But
yeah, I always struggle with Playdate because I always have a hard time like finding a place where I can sit and see it well and play it. But I'm always charmed by it when I charge it up and turn it on, and it's a great little device.
I get it. Hey, you know what else is a great little device? The human body. But sometimes doing exercises, it's like, this is all moot. It's useless unless you got some protein in your body. Am I right, folks? And that's where Huel comes in. That's right, Huel. Human fuel, as they call it. With a name that bad, it's gotta taste good. And the good news is, it does. Huel is quite good. Hang on, too busy chugging Huel. So they have a bunch of options, including this one here, which is the whole meal replacement shake, where it's a bunch of different flavors. It's strawberry, banana, chocolate, iced coffee, all delicious. And then they also have the black edition powder, if you're looking to get really specific, with a mix with a little extra protein boost in there. 35 grams of protein, 27 essential vitamins and minerals in both these things. But it is very convenient if you're in a rush. It's like, I didn't have time for breakfast this morning. I'm just gonna grab a Huel. It's got everything I need in there. I can chug that, and it really does taste good. I am always amazed. It's like, I got a fridge full of Huel, and I'm delighted by it. I will chug these things all day. And I don't know, you guys have that similar problem in your lives where, do you have any healthy friends who ever like yell at you about your diet and nutrition? Because I have one who's always just like, why are you lifting weights if you're not like having a bunch of protein? I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like eat 3 chickens a day? No, the answer is just something nice and easy. Just get some Huel and chug it, and you'll be buff. Buff as a chicken, I say. They make hitting protein goals easy. When the default choice is healthy, you can stay in your routine with an extra boost here from Huel. So you can get Huel's full protein starter kit today with an exclusive offer of 20% off online with the code MinnMax20 at Huel.com/MinnMax20. New customers only. Thank you to Huel for partnering and supporting our show. Check out the description if you want to jump into Huel and taste the sweet nectar of Huel for yourself, Jacob Geller.
I really like when we don't help you at all with these ad reads, because it feels like we're at a strange open mic and we're just not giving you anything.
We're just politely applauding.
Once again, he's hogging all the Huel.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
if you gave us some Huel, we might have something to add to the conversation.
Pope Leo, Huel hog, guilty as charged. Send me to hell. All right, everybody. Just like the fire is burning in the new Avatar film, and the DLC came out, Avatar from the Ashes, the DLC for Avatar Frontiers of Pandora that released. Kyle, I was an idiot because we can talk about it. I was very into the Fire and Ash movie, the new Avatar movie, and I was like,
we haven't really talked about it much.
No,
honestly.
we haven't. I was like, I want to dive into that DLC. Is it standalone? And I Googled that and said, no, it's not standalone. And I was like, well, what's the point then? But you actually took the extra initiative to be like, oh no, you can actually launch it separately, like from within the game menu.
Yeah, well, I did. Ubisoft had a forum where I could be like, hello, I'd like to check out the DLC. So it is paid DLC, but yeah,
it is.
The nice thing is you can just play the DLC. And it gives you like a recap of the sort of mainline campaign, which I did a good job checking my phone while I was airing on the television in front of me. but I just because I don't know, maybe you feel similarly. Like we've talked about Avatar on the podcast before, where it's like, I have to admit that I'm a big fan of these movies, even though like I every complaint about them I think is completely valid and I totally agree with. But like maybe not every single one, but
people are weird about Avatar, man.
Characters aren't hot enough.
I loved. I mean, I was there day one IMAX. I think we went to the same one, high frame rate. It's just like there's nothing else that really looks like it. So it's just really engrossing. And it is a movie that I walked out of and I was like, I just want to hang out in Pandora a little more.
Yeah.
You know, and so that was my sort of incentive to download the game, which I had played like an hour of when it came out.
Same here.
And then I gravitated toward the DLC, not necessarily because of the like relationship to the movie, but more because it kind of jumps you ahead. Like you have your this shows how much of a fan I am. The flying animals. I don't know what they're called.
Oh, come on. Everybody who's an Avatar fan knows what the flying animals are. I'm just Googling my best place to get some Huel. Oh, the Ekron, of course.
The Ekron, of course. You have your Ekron. You know, you have it. It kind of Metroids you a little bit where you start with a bunch of weapons and then it kind of takes them away. So it's a really good, like, you know, a smaller chunk of the game where you get to sort of, you still get like a tutorial and you still get the opportunity to unlock weapons and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just an opportunity to sort of exist in that world again. I went and saw like the movie twice just because it's like literally when it comes out, you will not be able to watch it at home in high frame rate.
Right.
Like it's not, there's no opportunity to do that. So the only way to see the proper version of that movie is to go see it in like IMAX, which is a whole separate topic. But
so is it?
But the move
is the game satisfying?
Yeah, is the game any good?
Yeah, I mean, is it like
the game gratifying?
Is it satisfying on a fandom level? Because I'm with you. We're like, I was thinking about my relationship with Avatar, my deep personal relationship with Avatar films, and it's like to say I love them is maybe a stretch, but I think the best way I can sum it up is like every time I've seen an Avatar movie in the theaters, I have a great frickin' time. I hoot and holler. I love my time going to the movies to see Avatar, you know?
I feel like the place that I've landed now is like, it's Cirque du Soleil. In that, like, never in a million years would I watch a Cirque du Soleil performance on my TV at home. But like when it's in town, I'll be there.
Yeah.
That's not a bad way to put it. Yeah, my other joke is I like everything about Avatar except for the plot and the characters. You know, it's like it's
Spider.
But anyway, the game is
you bash Spider over my dead body.
The game it was fun to just be like, you know, jump on your Ekron. You could literally press up on the D-pad and jump off a cliff. The other thing is it has third person now.
That is huge. Yeah.
Which was like big for me because like it wasn't doing it for me as a first person game. And like it is that style of third person that I fear like, you know, Resident Evil Requiem's going to have where it still functionally feels like a first person game. Right. Like the sort of the controls of it still feel basically identical, but you can see your player character on screen, which I like. But it was satisfying to sort of be able to walk around, to shoot a bow and arrow, to jump on the Ekron and like all those things. But it is also funny to, I mean, not to like inflate Cameron's ego too much more here, but it's like you watch the cutscenes in the game right. And you're like, oh yeah, that's right. He is one of the best. He knows, like, there are few better at directors who know where to put a camera and make even a boring sort of like conversation compelling and interesting just so the way the camera moves around and stuff. Where here in the game, it's just like, you know, reverse shot of like, you know, tall blue people talking and you're like, oh yeah, there is something special about James
Cameron. It feels like you're watching Avatar and someone just turned the lights on. Suddenly it's like, wait, this is embarrassing. Wait, what is this? And all of a sudden.
One of my frustrations with the movie was they didn't spend enough time in Fire and Ash world. Yeah. You know, it's like they're kind of only near that volcano for like 15 minutes of like a 3-hour movie. I'm looking at the gameplay playing. It looks like it's more are you spending more time in kind of like the volcano area?
I mean, from what I played, I did not finish it, but I played it like a couple hours. I played like 4 or 5 hours, something like that. No. The Fire and Ash Na'vi come into your world and cause problems, and you're fighting them there.
Okay.
So maybe you do head into the volcano area more later in the DLC, but I didn't see any of it.
Is Varang in it? I'm asking for no reason whatsoever. Okay.
She's not.
Okay.
No, it's funny. Wesley LeBlanc at Game Informer wrote a piece over the break that was basically complaining about that. It's like, yeah, there's a huge problem with the Fire and Ash DLC in that Varang does not exist within it.
She's so freaking cool.
And I was like, yeah, totally agree. Yeah. But there are some mean Na'vi.
Okay, all right. Well, that seems okay. Fun. That seems fine. Jacob, you weren't that hot on the film?
I liked it, but I'm kind of in the camp of like, I do feel like I got Way of Water 1.5.
Totally.
You know, like I wasn't. Yeah. If they spent the whole time with the Sky Traders, I'm freaking thrilled. But at the at the end of it, where I was like, every beat of this is the same as the second one's climax.
Kids are getting kidnapped on a boat again.
Yeah, I was confused.
Yeah, that's totally right. But damn it, was I enthralled behind my 3D glasses watching all those things happen on screen.
I'm in that same camp, but it's like, whenever they do that thing of like, well, we just decided to take this one movie and divide it into two. Like, that never, ever goes well. And this is the first time with Avatar Fire and Ash where I was really thinking about that idea of like, I don't know. I mean, having another 3 hours just to like soak in Neytiri feeling guilty about hating the species of her adopted son and Quaritch wrestling with what is he with just memories implanted from a dead guy, and does that liberate him for his mission? Like that type of stuff. Like I'm glad I have this. I will take 3 more hours, even if it's going to have the same climactic scenes and also another just like 6 back and forths of like, I have your kid by the throat. No, I have your kid by the throat. Like it's just constant.
It's like
I've also adopted a third kid over the course of this.
They keep coming.
It's like, for all my criticisms, I don't actually think it should have been shorter. It's like these movies earn its 3-hourness because the thing I most want is to just like hang out there.
And
Jacob, you didn't make time for this with 2 kids to go see Avatar?
Haven't. No, I didn't see the water one either.
Yeah, the Markiafavas are a fortress, so he's got to really batten it down. I understand, but like just being in the theater, like the level of dorkitude that's fun with Avatar is like, when Nurse Jackie herself pulls up for the first time and she's in that vehicle and it like turns sideways with the wheels.
I've been talking about that vehicle for weeks.
It's such a good vehicle. I'm literally going,
right,
woo,
Kelsey?
in the theaters. It rules.
Totally. This is just one of those things that I. This is a dude thing, I think.
Avatar? No.
It's
like
my
wife and daughter did not want to go see Avatar with me.
It's a little bit of. I'm not saying it's only for men.
Sure.
I'm saying it's only for dudes.
You're saying I could just like go hang out at a frat house and talk about Quaritch? Well, I guess Quaritch would probably be in
Dude
it.
is gender neutral.
They don't appreciate
Dude is
him.
gender neutral.
Yeah,
but it's a dude thing.
Man, I think of like my sister, who is not a dork at all. And she saw the first movie in theaters and she's like, that's the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life. And so that's always my favorite reference.
I watched the first one.
Okay.
It was neat.
Okay. Also, I tried to dive in as much as I could to like absorb every James Cameron interview about Avatar. And there's
a lot
upsetting because everyone just asks him about mocap technology. So it's just, here's 20 minutes more of him talking about like, yeah, it's not about the technology, it's about the actors. Like, no one talks to him about the story or the writing or anything other than just like, so you're telling me it's mocap. How would you define that? It's like, it's performance capture. I'll be damned. Like, just stop talking about that basic crap over and over and over again. Move on. But I did like it a lot. Everyone's yelling at James Cameron about like, move on from the franchise, do something else. And he had a quote in one of these interviews talking about how he's like, I can tell every story I want to tell in Avatar. Where he said, I'm feeling fulfilled as an artist. They can make those types of decisions for themselves or just stay the out of it. It's my decision, not yours. It's like saying, gee, I wish she wasn't married to the same guy for so long. It's none of your business. It's like, yeah, hell yeah, James Cameron. It's none of your business if he wants to keep making these movies. Please.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, why not? All right.
I also like, just not to move on too quickly, but I also like that I keep reading stories of how good it's doing at the box office. It's like hit 1 billion. But the sort of from Cameron and those, Disney, etc., the question of like, if they're going to do more is still like, well, we don't know. I mean, it's only made 1 billion. And it's like, they genuinely haven't committed to doing more. And I'm like, I just want to know if I should like emotionally prepare myself to never see a conclusion of this story or not.
At this point, I mean, even if Cameron is not directing it or just doing a lighter version of directing and kind of elevating the second unit directors and stuff, like I thought Way of Water was going to crash and burn, and it's one of the biggest movies of all time. And I was like, well, certainly this movie is not going to do nearly as well. And it's like, yeah, it's like a couple days behind on the trajectory of reaching $1 billion. It's like at this point, Avatar critics, shut up. They're fun and they make a lot of money. And as Kyle likes to say, I think
stop criticizing it.
Yeah, how dare you?
Made a lot of money.
No,
but of course, the sort of the period at the end of the sentence is the game's all right.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there we go. From the ashes. Well,
there was a video game.
There was, I guess, some video game or something. Hope you enjoyed this bonus max spoilers on Avatar. Hey, there's also a game completely unrelated called Terminator 2D No Fate. James
I forgot
Cameron
we were
lives,
talking
baby!
about that. What a transition.
Hell yeah! I talked about it a little bit during the prep for the 210s. We were building the list because it's a cool throwback 2D game based on Terminator 2, but you can replay it again and then choose different things to happen because there truly is no fate but what we make as we play the game. Jeff and Jacob, you guys played this thing?
Yeah, I played it like several times.
Yeah.
Which I guess is kind of like the point of it, because it's interestingly arcadey, where like it's divided by levels, and like if you lose all your continues, you just start at the beginning again. But it's I don't know. I love Terminator 2 so much, and seeing the like it is really fit for a video game where you realize how many like levels the movie has of like, oh, here's the asylum escape level, and here's the motorcycle riding level, and
Cyberdyne,
yeah. And I like the pixel art is so cool, and whatever, and it just like it's like exactly as arcadey without being as BS frustrating as the games that it's kind of riffing on, that I just had a blast with it.
Yeah, every single moment that you remember from Terminator 2 is either gameplay or they've worked it into a cutscene in like the hour running time. When you're on the motorcycle and you're being chased by T-1000 in the semi truck, and you shoot at him, the reload animation is him doing the windmill to reload it. And once you see that, it's like, okay, obviously in good hands here. I
Make
played
sure the
through
top
it twice.
of the truck gets ripped off, like, you know, all those like little details.
Oh,
It does.
Yeah. I played through it twice. I did the first, like, you know, parallel universe or whatever. I really liked it the first time I played through it. I actually died on the very last level the first time, so then I had to replay the entire thing again and beat it, and then did one more for the split off, which does introduce like another 2 levels or something. You have one with Arnold with the big minigun that's fun, but it's kind of like it's an impossible position for the developers to be in, because it's like most of the levels are like a minute and a half when you play through them. At the end of the game, it shows you a rundown of like how long you took for each level, and it's like, man, you put so much work into that minute and a half that like I can't fault you that the game is like 40 minutes long, you know, and you've tried to extend that by having these kind of alternate paths, but it's kind of the more times I played it back to back, kind of a little more annoyed I got, especially with the driving levels. It's like I didn't need to do those more than the first time.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like I don't like to talk about game cost, because obviously it oscillates. It'll go down in sales. Different money means different things to different people. But like this is a pretty dear $30.
Yes.
Like it's you know, you have to be replaying the game several times to get what you might consider your money's worth out of that. And they make it fun to replay it. Like there are reasons to do that, but like this kind of feels like a 15 to me.
It's I know.
And the fact that it's 30 is pretty high.
And then again, I completely agree. And it's like, it's gross to talk too much about money, but it's like, you know, this thing's probably going to be on sale for $7.99 a year and a half on Steam. If you're a Terminator fan, by all means jump in. Or like it, you know, which a friend did over the break. But like if you got a buddy that's a big Terminator 2 fan as well, you each chip in $15, go over to their house and play it together, have a blast. You know, it's not co-op, but just like pass the controller, like you'll have a great time. You know, so it's like there's ways you can squint around that $30, but it's an old arcadey game. It's cool if you're an old decaying man.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's like, it's fun. I love how much they have from the movie. I mean, it's like the Terminator theme is just one of my favorite movie themes, and just hearing like full force Terminator theme is so cool. It is funny that clearly they did not get Arnold's likeness rights, because everyone has this like beautiful pixel art character art portrait of themselves, and then Arnold is just the T-800 with his face torn off for some reason, even though that's never what he looks like in the movie. Also, like T2, the future parts are bad. Like
Yeah.
whenever I was in a future level, I was like, this is not as good as when you're in the present.
But it is
Like,
cool.
we're a Contra game now, by the way.
Yeah. But it is cool to be able to like take cover in an old retro arcade shooter like this. Like I still love that feeling. Like every time I'm in the future zone, I'm like ducking back for a little bit. Like, oh, this works. This totally should have been a feature in old arcade shooters, you know? Yeah. But also, I love just like the weight of the T-800 when you play as him. It's like, nope, you can't jump. He's just going to lumber around, just like punching people behind his back. It's very satisfying. Terminator 2D, no fate, everybody. No fate, but what we make. And sometimes we make music with a game called Rhythm Doctor. Not so much make music, but just dial in more and more to be as precise as humanly possible and to hit the 7th beat as many times as possible. Kelsey, have you checked out Rhythm Doctor at all?
Yes, I love it.
Oh, thank God. Okay, great. Yeah, this is one of my favorite games from last year. Talked about it again in the build up to the 210s here. And Kyle played a little bit. Jacob, you also jumped into Rhythm Doctor?
Yeah, I just finished the 3rd day. I don't know how many days there are.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think there's 7 or 8. I have continued to play this game and I have really loved it. It is kicking my butt. I'm like at the boss of like the 5th area, and it is like this My Chemical Romance sounding song, and it is just destroying me. But this is like the thrill I think that I've had with this game, and especially over the break, is as the levels get hard, the bosses sometimes get really tricky. Like I am such a sucker, and I'm so nostalgic for extreme challenges and just replaying certain tracks over and over and over again in a music rhythm game. You know, like it takes me back to Frequency and Amplitude, some of my favorite games of all time, you know, of just like, you know what?
I'm a lady now.
That's right. I mean, a little bit from, obviously, yeah, Rhythm Heaven, there's a lot of inspiration here.
There's a lot of Rhythm Heaven in here, yeah.
But it is just so fun to be like, God, I cannot beat this. I just need to grind this out and play this one song for like an hour over and over and over again until I get through it. But maybe I'm terrible at it, or I'm being stubborn by not lowering the difficulty, but I just am having a blast with that basic structure.
Yeah, I'm not as far into it as you are. I've just done the first 2 days, but it's so much fun. And the boss levels, I think, are just really, really cool.
How are you guys playing the game? Because I'm really curious about a boss thing.
I'm playing on Steam Deck, hitting the R2 button.
Okay,
I'm playing on Steam Deck as well.
Well, not
I
R2
don't
literally, but whatever it's called.
Does the second boss do something with?
Yeah, of course, on the Steam Deck.
Because because it does a thing with a desktop screen that I have never seen a computer program do before. Like truly I did not know that you could make software.
Hang on. Okay.
Spoiler
Hat.
gates?
Yeah. Spoiler hat
Yeah, right. I
for
wanna
Rhythm
know what you're
Doctor.
talking about,
So
'cause I
I
haven't seen
hinted
this
at
yet.
it. So what it does on the Steam Deck is Jeff actually has it. It minimizes to like a fake desktop, and then the gameplay window is a little thing that bounces around to the beat. And that's what I was talking about was so incredible when I was talking about things.
That's what happens, but it's your real desktop. Like it
What?
actually does it. Like it.
Wow.
I was playing it in full screen. It went into Windows. I was like, windowed? I was like, what's happening? I tried to turn it back to full screen and it didn't let me. And then it's waving around the screen and I have multiple monitors and there's a part where the window starts streaking across the screen and it was going from one monitor to the second monitor. I was calling. I was like, Annie, look at this. I've never seen something do this before. It's so cool.
That's amazing. Well, now I feel like I'm missing out playing on Steam Deck. I thought it was such a great little Steam Deck game. And now I'm
that one
reconsidering
on a desktop.
everything.
Spoiler hats off, I guess.
I guess so. But yeah, Kelsey, how does it compare to Rhythm Heaven in your mind? Like it's not as Rhythm Heaven maybe as some other wannabes of Nintendo series, but
I mean, it's they're similar in concept and everything, but like I don't know, maybe I'm just like, yeah, more of these. I don't know. They're all like, if you can do it well, why not make 5 of these?
Yeah.
I think this is super fun. To be honest, on those boss things, I am sometimes just not looking at my screen.
Yep.
It's easier if you don't look at the game at all, which I know defeats the purpose, but just super fun. So far, very incrementally adding little twists to how the rhythm is going. Like adding you start by going on the 7th beat for everything in the first shift or whatever, the first floor. And then on the second one, it starts doing things with like tempo changes, and I assume it gets even more difficult than that. After
It gets
this,
wild.
I'm really, really enjoying it so far.
Like the big thing that they start doing, there's a lot of big twists to the simple thing of like, oh, you're always just hitting on the 7th beat. How tough can it be? But when they start bringing in like multiple different beats, and you have like 3 or 4 lanes, and it's like, oh my God, okay, so I got to kind of, juggle all these plates at once and make sure I'm hitting the 7th beat for all these different rhythms.
Because I mean, the basic premise of it is like you're like beating their heart, right?
Yes.
Like that's the idea of it. So then it has 4 people on screen, all with different heartbeats. And you are trying to land on like the perfect moment for each of them. I've never played a Rhythm Heaven game before, so I don't know how much of this is innovative for this game versus it just feels crazy because it's the first one of them that I've played. But I'm so impressed with the how many different genres of music there are, and the kind of like Nintendo-esque. Every level is kind of introducing a new mechanic or a wrinkle on a mechanic, and then what you can do is if you get like an A+ on that level, you can essentially play the night shift version of that level, which I assumed is like it's just going to be the same song, but it'll be harder. But it's not. It's a completely different song that is often like thematically more interesting and complex, and like the music is like combining things, and then it's riffing on the one mechanic that was introduced in the previous level. But it's like, it's so, I mean, in like the, in the second world, one of the dudes that you're dealing with is like a lo-fi DJ basically, and the first one, he's just like playing his little boombox, and you're just beating it on the, you're just hitting the 7th beat on the boombox. And then his night shift level is he starts rapping. There's a whole song, there's a music video, and there's like the samurai that you were treating on day 1 comes in and is like, you're like mixing the samurai's beats with the DJ's beat. And I was just like, I was like, oh, there are double the number of songs in this that I thought there were going to be, because it's such a different experience to play the kind of variation on each level.
Yeah, I love that you are loving it, Jacob, because I love Rhythm Doctor, but sometimes like it doesn't really feel like a quote unquote Jacob-y type of game. It's like, but I guess
I love rhythm games. It's like I've never wanted like a taiko drum more to plug into my computer to be like while I'm playing this.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet for sure. It's gonna be fun, like when the new Rhythm Heaven releases this year, just to see if a bunch of people will play that for the first time, Kelsey, on Switch. And hopefully it's a good one overall. And it's like, is there going to be a whole new audience for simplistic rhythm games? Is that the best way to sum it up?
I hope so.
One of those things that only a video game can do. We talk about that sometimes. Like, rhythm games are a cool video game thing.
They are, but I also think about rhythm games a lot in the Sid Meier quote about, games are a series of interesting decisions. That's the way you summarize what a game is. And even Sid Meier then was like, well, except for Guitar Hero, I guess. There's not really, I guess we can use star power. And I always think about it in terms of like Rhythm Heaven and now Rhythm Doctor, of like, yeah, what a silly game. Like, I'm just hitting one button at this very precise time. It's trying to turn me into a robot, and somehow it's really charming the way it's doing that. Of like, oh, you were a millisecond off. No. Just make you do it again and again, but it's freaking sweet.
I'm curious, Kyle, have you checked this out? Do you intend to check it out?
Yeah, I've only played like the first 2 or 3 songs. So I'm not far at all.
It, to me, more than other rhythm games I've played, I'm playing it, I'm like, this is a drummer's game.
Yeah.
Like, whereas other rhythm games can kind of feel like different instruments or different skills. This is just like, it's just keeping track of beats in a way that I'm like, I think this is, this seems designed for a drummer's skill set.
Yeah, I really liked what I played. I'm going to keep going with it for sure. Yeah.
Okay, I'd be curious to hear what your drumming mind thinks as you keep going with that thing. But Rhythm Doctor, I think it's just Steam and Xbox, I think, at this point. But yeah, I'm still absolutely
I was looking to see
loving
if it's on Switch because I would like to play it on Switch.
I would too.
But it looks like it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, yep, just Steam and Xbox right now. But Rhythm Doctor, name of that game. Another game that I found from our top 10 roundups from around the industry is called Wednesdays. And it was Try Win who joined us. If you remember, he made a big donation during the Give to the Max charity stream, and a combat designer at Giant Skull over there with Stig. But it was on his list. And for everybody's list, I like grabbed a screenshot representing like the most under the radar choice. So like, oh, this would be a cool way to elevate like this quote unquote smallest game on the list. And so I was trying to just look for images of Wednesdays, and I was looking, I was like, what? This art is so striking. What is going on with this game Wednesdays? And so jumped into it. It's another kind of shorter experience. You can play through in about 2 hours. To call it a visual novel seems a little simplistic because it is more complex than probably your average visual.
It's a visual novel.
Okay, but I think, okay, there's a couple layers to this, right? So it's a visual novel, but you're accessing these different memories of this character's life through playing an amusement park builder. And so it's like a very colorful, cutesy amusement park builder sim game, and you're getting more money, building more attractions, building the attractions, clicking through, and then diving into other memories of that person's life.
I think that's maybe misconstruing what the game is a little bit, because the amusement park builder is functionally a level select. Like you don't have to, there is no strategy. You don't, at some point in the game, they tell you like, hey, just so you know, the attendee approval rating doesn't mean anything. But it's a cool wrapper for the game.
Yeah. And the wrapper is wrapping one of, if not the heaviest game of 2025. Like it is dealing with some very extreme situations of abuse, and somebody trying to kind of reprocess their life through these memories and flashbacks. And I really, to say I love the game feels odd considering the subject matter, but like it really rocked me. It is really fascinating. It is like, it's rare, I think, to have a game that just, it took my breath away with how frank it was talking about very serious issues. It's like, I've never seen a game address this. Just be like, oh, this happens to a lot of people, and a lot of people are being abused in their homes, and we're just going to frankly talk about it in an adult manner, I
mean, not only a game, it is hard for me to think of a piece of media.
Yeah.
Like book, movie. I know they are out there, but like when I try to think about like what is talking about the thing that this game is talking about, I really struggle. And I agree, especially in a year that there was so much news about Horses, the game being delisted for adult content and whatever. This is, in many ways a completely different approach. Horses is very like explicit in the things that it's showing and the things that it's talking about. And this is not working through implication because, as you said, they explicitly say what it's about, but there are not visual depictions of anything of it.
Right.
But it is, there are conversations that are like, I kind of can't believe that they're just like saying this in this way.
Yep. So the juxtaposition is that cutesy kind of pastel colored amusement park thing. You're building the attractions, and the ride intensity of the attraction correlates to the intensity of the memory. And there's also like a little marker on there to be like, oh, this is a question mark to let you know it's just going to be an average memory. This one has 3 exclamation points. So like, this is going to be an intense memory if you want to go back and relive this and kind of walk through this, which is an interesting way to tell a very serious story. And the idea is, this is the amusement park game that this kid used to play. And so he's coming back to it years later to try and process everything that he went through in his childhood. Was it landing in a big way, Jeff and Jacob, for you? Like, what did you think about Wednesdays overall?
Yeah, it's it's a very tough play. Especially having a 5-year-old kid, like
Oof.
the first couple minutes is like a 5-year-old talking with his grandma and wanting to leave the house. And what's interesting about it is all of the you're making dialogue choices, but you're always making dialogue choices of the people who are interacting
Yes.
with this person who was abused. And you're seeing like the gaps there, like the questions that aren't being answered.
Yes.
They do a lot of interesting creative things where like sometimes the answers will, they'll pop up as clouds around the person, and sometimes they'll change. Like sometimes a character will avoid asking certain questions, but they kind of keep popping up and changing until it's like, okay, we can't avoid this anymore. But the first one, like a minute in, I was like, man, I don't want to be playing this. Like, don't like this. It was very close to just being too hard to even think about. And by the time I was done, like it has an affirming message. Like it has a very good message. I'm very glad that I did play it, but I walked away realizing like I need to have a conversation with my kids sooner than I had anticipated that I should be.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of the big takeaways of the experience.
Yeah, I was thinking a lot about how it was delivered, because the game is similar to how Consume Me starts. Like before you even start the game, it's like, here is what this game is about. Here are a laundry list of like trigger warnings of like potential topics that this game will talk on and could, be could trigger you in some way. And because that list and it telling you is kind of so extreme right off the jump, the entire game has this like cloud of dread hanging over it. And I was kind of wondering, it's like, I don't think that the game shouldn't have those warnings, but I was wondering like, how much is it affecting my experience that I know kind of exactly what this is about from moment one? The end of the game is really this, not the very last conversation, but I would say the climax of the game is this really kind of heart-stopping and nuanced and uncomfortable thing in a way that I was like, this is, they are landing this beat perfectly, and this is kind of what the game is about. So it's like, it's hard because there are just so few things to even compare it to in this realm, that I have a hard time. I don't know. It's really hard to talk about for a number of reasons, just like critically. But I was by the end, I was very taken with it, and it was like, I like woke up at like 3 a.m. last night and was kind of thinking about it. Like it's that sort of thing.
Yeah. Kyle, you'll also have a blast because you get to play through a parody of Ocarina of Time, but through like visual novel choices. And it's kind of fun to solve Zelda puzzles just as you're sitting on a kid's bed trying to work through based on the sound effects of Zelda. So it's got your cool.
Charming.
Yeah. Dive and play with the family, please. No, but like my takeaway from playing it, a lot of takeaways. Very glad it exists. But also it's just this feeling of like, God, with stuff like Despelote and Consume Me, I feel like I'm screaming and so happy for like, oh my God, here's like some personal narratives, some really important things in society being talked about in games. It just feels like we're bringing truth to this art form. This is so great. I was like, have I just been overlooking the entire visual novel genre a lot more than I should have? Because playing this, I was like, God, more of this. Let's talk about what's actually happening in society. And I feel like I need to apologize to that entire genre. It's like, it does so many cool, unique things that can really only be done, I feel like, with this genre. Just like the idea of like, there's a certain point where there's a character who's like making a wall between two houses. And the kid's like, why are you making that wall? And the older person's like, I'll tell you when you're older. And then it's like, bam, the kid just becomes an adult, the person making the game now, in theory. It's like, okay, I'm older now. Why don't you tell me now? The person's like, well, no, I can't because I'm actually dead as a character at this point. So I gotta let go. Which is like being that loose and interesting with the narrative it is weaving through, or even just little things like, oh my God, like this big breakup scene that happens in the game. And, one of the dialogue options is like, I forget exactly. It's something like, I think we're breaking up right now. And that's like one of the dialogue options. And then as you continue the conversation, like that is just taking over more and more of the dialogue option slots until it's like, we're breaking, like you have no choice but then to click on like, we're breaking up right now. It's like, oh my God, it just tore my heart out. And it's so powerful in this medium.
It's just like, if you're interested, Annie came in like halfway through and she's like, what is this about? And I was like, it's about child abuse. And she's like, why are you playing that? And I was like, because to me, games are about more than having fun.
Right.
Like it is. It's just like if you want this medium to be more than a kind of have fun machine, then like you don't have to like this game, but this is the kind of thing that you should be paying attention to, because this is the place where that kind of work is happening.
Yeah. And it's on Game Pass now, and Xbox is really pushing it hard, so it's a good time. No, I'm just joking. It's just on Steam. It's called Wednesday. All right, sorry. Hey, Kyle, do you know how this whole thing operates?
No.
I'll tell you right now. It's Patreon. People go to patreon.com/MinnMax with 2 N's. They jump in, find a tier that's right for them. Feel free to move up or down your tier if you'd like. Anything statable on your end is great for us. Thanks to everybody for making it possible, unlocking benefits over there. And thank you to I'm 8-Bit, sticking around in a big way, sending out prizes each and every week. They want everybody to know about blueprints. They have a bunch of cool blueprint stuff in I'm 8-Bit's wonderful online store. They have a bird pin, a desk mat, postcard and stamp set. The one that kills me is they have like a replica key from blueprints. We're like, yeah, I want to touch one of those keys. That sounds great. Go to I'm 8-Bit's wonderful online store and you can use the promo code Champagne Dreams. One word, Champagne Dreams, for 10% off of everything under $100. Help support I'm 8-Bit in a big way because they support the MinnMax community in a big way by shipping out a prize. We're going to choose our favorite question submitted over there on Patreon, and that person's going to win Ori and the Blind Forest, the double vinyl soundtrack. Just showing up at your front door thanks to I'm 8-Bit. So please keep them around by using that promo code Champagne Dreams. Get a discount on some cool stuff. All right, you guys ready for these?
Ready.
Yeah.
Hayden Pike writes in. They say, Kia ora from New Zealand. Hello, Hayden. In regards to the 210s, do you think Jeffem has too much sway? This year with baby steps, and last year, 2 of his games placed highly that no one else had played. Also, I hope that Kyle Hilliard is okay. A lot of his takes seem to be shot down, and I wanted to give him a hug.
Oh, thank you.
Jeffem is a very persuasive and good speaker.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I mean, even when I first started working with you, Jeff, I'm over at Game Informer, I've always been aware that you are a person. I think I believe this is fully a compliment, but now I'm second guessing myself. That you only speak up when it's important, kind of. Like you're generally pretty quiet. Like you don't talk a lot, so that when you do say something, people pay attention.
I bide my time.
That's right.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
50% of the time it's still stupid jokes, but the other times are the important ones. What big games did I have last year that I got?
I don't know. You've been pushing your weight around pretty hot and heavy, mister. Yeah, quit pretending.
Well, like, are they like putting Balatro and UFO 50 on me? Like, come on.
Yeah, you're out of line. I agree.
Sorry, I like 2 of the best games last year.
Hey, you attack Hayden Pike from New Zealand, you attack me. Nick DeVries writes in, and they say, hey, MinnMax folks, after huge recording sessions like the 210s, how much do you think about / analyze your personal performance? For example, do you wish you had said something else or phrased something better? Is this something that happens often or never? I find I do this after every client meeting, so curious if others have this. Thanks, I love the show, not in a weird way either, Ben. Thank you. Thank you for keeping it on the level. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the most honest thing I can share. I was better about it this year, but there I will often go back and listen to like my sort of section about Bonanza or something to be like, how did it go? But I do it less and less every year. But yeah, no, you always I replay those conversations in my head a lot for sure.
Yeah, I always leave deeply self-conscious.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think that's the way it has to work. But what are you self-conscious about?
I feel it's a combination of like, kind of what Kyle is saying. Like, were my arguments persuasive in any way? And then I also, and I think we have started just like straight up saying this part out loud, but like I get self-conscious that I was just a jerk at the end every time. I'm like, was I just mean? Are my opinions mean opinions?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, Kelsey, if you don't mind me sharing this, like, you messaged me about something that you were like, I'm sorry, I felt like I was really rude to you. And it was something that I like literally not clocked at all. But like, I feel the same way constantly. It's like, I'm not like, I should have argued that better. I'm always like, was I too big of a dick?
Yeah.
Is basically what I am worried about.
But it's funny because Kelsey, weren't you the one that said, like, by the way, no one needs to message anybody after this?
That was before. I think that was in episode 1. And then in episode 2, I said no one needs to do that.
Yeah. Normally, if I'm really, like, pushing for a game, I'll go back and watch that part to be like, oh, did I make the case well enough? I wish I was more confident when I was making the arguments for these games, that type of thing. But then most of the time it is scrubbing through to be like, oh, I think I was a dick here. How much of a dick was it when I was screaming about Kyle wasn't going to come in the next episode and fight for Bonanza? Like, it's usually while I'm editing that, I'm like, do I trim this out because I was too much of a dick towards Kyle? Which is normally the barometer of like, is this editable? Okay, I guess it's better just to leave it and be screaming.
It was weirdly, this year was the one that I'm like, the one that I'm replaying in my head is when we were like, coolest thing, and I was like, Switch 2. I love my Switch 2. I play my Switch 2 all the time. What a great system. And everyone was like, you.
Yeah, that still makes me angry. And you're right. You know what? We should, in society and everywhere, you should never criticize an icebreaker. And you were just being an icebreaker there, getting the ball rolling. It was a super boring, broad pick. But you know what, Kyle? In your defense too, everything you do is boring and broad. No, in your defense, like,
and so you'll cut this out. This is not going to
replay this.
No, but I was thinking about it where I was like, oh, you know what I should have put on the list for best thing was the feel of the Pro Controller analog sticks for the Switch 2. Like there were more specifics that were like positive with the Switch 2 that I was like, oh, I should have pushed for that. Because I still think about it every time I use that Pro Controller, like, God, these feel so good. It's the best feeling sticks I ever felt. So that's how it works. Yeah, and normally I'm really self-conscious about like, I understand probably most of it's in jest, but I'm self-conscious about like being the one that's trying to move things along and the one that's actually like moving things on the list just to make sure that like I'm not putting my thumb too heavily on the scale. And I feel like the fact that I didn't get any real crap about that this year is like, okay, maybe that's mission accomplished, or maybe that's just a sign that I wasn't pushing hard enough for Shinobi or something, the fact that I was like, all right, well, this is going on there and it's up to you to move it off, who can say? So mission accomplished, I think. Elias Armendariz writes in and say, we're halfway through the 2020s. Is there any chance, I think we get this question a lot, but I think it's fun. Any chance we can have a battle of the 210s from the last 5 years? Or to make it shorter, like a top 10 from the last 5 years? So do you have kind of the Omega 210s, the long fabled thing? How are y'all feeling about it this day and age?
I think it'd be fun. Ish.
I like it.
Like right here, right now.
Oh, right here, right now. Yeah. It sounds like a piece of cake.
Like we'd have to stick with only games that were on the 210s, right? Like,
yeah, I think so.
Those are the only ones.
Yeah.
So going back to 2019, I do think it'd be fun. I do think it'd probably be worse than people think because I think a big part of it is like having it fresh in your mind. If I had to go back and argue for like Resident Evil 2 remake right now, I think it's just a less interesting conversation if you are a little bit hazier and fuzzier on the takeaways,
What if we wait to do it? Or what if we do like a chunk that does not include last year's? Like it's all a little bit old news.
So it's all equally hazy?
2024
Yeah.
and
Or just do it in like October or something. So we forgot.
I think the way to do it is, God willing, if we make it to 10 years, I do think this is a good 10-year anniversary thing for MinnMax, and we would do it in October
I like that.
for 10 years of 210s.
I was actually thinking about, I really liked the New Show Plus that we did with Alana, where we were just having random games thrown at us and kind of like sorting them in real time. I want to go back and do more of that. I like the idea of like, let's just make a big list out of every game and just like tier list them in real time.
Why not? Yeah, we could continue that series at any point. Yeah. Daniel Blower writes in and says, "Hey gang, Kelsey made the comment recently recommending more JRPG experience amongst the cohorts for perspective on their writing quality. If you each chose one JRPG to play that you have not played, no matter how old it is, what would it be?" Love this question.
I mean, I've never beaten Final Fantasy VI. I've started it a number of times.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. And same with 7 as well. I've never beaten 7, proper 7.
Nobody's perfect.
But 6 would be the one that I would go back and make time for. It's the one that I sort of threaten to myself to do all the time. Like every time that Pixel collection goes on sale, which is still like absurdly expensive to get that whole set. I always consider, and it's like, maybe now's the time to play 6.
Did you play 4?
I played, well, okay, it's 2. What is 2? I always
2
get
is
this
4.
wrong. I played a lot of 4 on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah. Okay. I connect you
but
with
never
that.
never finished it. Yeah.
Yeah. I do. I dream about this day of like, it'd be really fun to do like a poll on Patreon for the deepest dive between like Final Fantasy 6 and 9. You know, it's like, because I kind of want to do 6 as well. Like, I played it back in the day and loved it, but it would be a fun deepest dive. And I wonder, I just want to gauge like how much enthusiasm there is for 6 at this point. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe everyone's
It'd be
just
nice
dying
to
off.
just sort of having a reason to play it, so to speak, right? Like I never would have played Chrono Cross without our deepest dive, that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be a good one.
It's Mother 3 for me.
Ooh,
but then that would also include, I've never played Earthbound, so it's like to get there, I would first play Earthbound and then
You can just play Mother 3.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, they're all standalone. NES is
one viewer JRPG for me.
You should absolutely play Mother 3.
Obviously, I know nothing, period. But like, why do I feel like in my heart of hearts, like, oh, within 3 years, Mother 3 will be on Virtual Console or on the Nintendo Switch Online service? Like, lock it down. Absolutely.
If they haven't done it,
people have been saying that for 15 years.
Yeah,
they're gonna put it on Virtual Boy.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, port it.
The furthest I've made it in Mother 3, which was in the last couple of years, I didn't finish it, was I think it was on Etsy. I bought a GBA cartridge with the fan translation and played it on a proper Game Boy Advance, which was really fun. I liked playing it that way. But I did not finish it because those games are long.
That's how I played it on a DS Lite, but same thing with a bootleg Game Boy Advance fan translation.
I think my number one that I have been meaning to go back to, and every time I see a clip from it, I'm like, God damn it, that looks so good, is Vagrant Story. Where back in the day, right when it came out, the smartest friend I had in high school, he played it. And I remember like watching him play it and be like, I'm not smart enough for this. This is like calculus, this combat system. What's even going on? And I'm sure now it wouldn't be that bad. And I could wrap my brain around it, but you look at footage of that, it's like, it is. I think it's the coolest looking PS1 game at this point. It just looks incredible.
It's a beautiful game.
That was like a Famitsu 40 out of 40 game.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what I always remember it as, right?
That's
One
right.
of the few.
Yeah. So who knows? It'd be fun to tackle them in a big way. Jeff, you're perfect. You're flawless.
I would just ask Kelsey what I should play and just respect whatever she tells me.
Okay. Wow. Very, very sweet.
I do think Mother 3 is a really good one because it's just not very long comparatively, and it's really good. And I think it's free of a lot of the things that if you're not used to playing JRPGs that a lot of people get stuck on. It's not like old fashioned. It's not medieval tropes or anything like that. It's a game set in modern times, and so that makes it a little bit more digestible, I think. Yeah.
Wajora writes in, they say, what was your favorite thing from your holiday breaks? That's pretty broad. Highlights of holiday breaks? What do y'all got from your time off?
It's The Pit.
Watching The Pit?
I truly, it's like, look, I had a great time. I saw family, saw friends or whatever, but like, if I had watched The Pit before Greatest Work of All Time 2025, that would have been my like number one with a bullet. And it comes back tomorrow, so I'm so hyped.
And doesn't it pair well with Rhythm Doctor?
Yeah, weirdly, they keep talking about how they're underfunded and they like don't have enough people.
Yeah,
to,
right.
Yes.
It's the greatest game adaptation.
My daughter bought me the Lego Game Boy.
Oh.
And so on Christmas Day, I just sat in the living room and made the Game Boy while we all hung out, and she watched Scott Pilgrim for the 1,000th time. And I was like, this is good family stuff.
Wow. Does she have a favorite joke in Scott Pilgrim, you think?
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure. I don't know what it is, but I think it's the vegan stuff. I think the vegan stuff really, she likes that.
Okay, yeah, it's good. Yeah, family, friends, a lot of good family time. It was a wonderful time. But man, anybody else watch that Taylor Swift documentary, The End of an Era? About the Eras tour, by chance? No one? Anybody on Earth watch it? It's kind of the Avatar on Disney Plus.
Anyone on Earth?
No, look.
We're probably the four that didn't.
I don't know. But oh my God. I'm not a Taylor Swift super fan. Some of her songs I like fine. Like as far as I would go. My wife's a big fan, so obviously that rubs off on me a little bit. But like, I watched that, was it a 4-part, 6-part series? My eyes were watery the entire time. I was looking over at my wife, I'm like, why am I more emotional than you? Because it's just like, it's the biggest concert tour of all time. And everybody involved with it is just like peak of their abilities, good at their damn job. And that is just some weird kryptonite for watching it. Like watching the dancers like live out their greatest dreams. And like Taylor, like she's fascinating more than anything to me because she's just the most ambitious person on earth. And she's just like kind of scary on that level, but also there's a lot to unpack that's interesting. But like, there's this whole sequence where they're in their tour and it's making $1 zillion. And did you guys know that she gave a bonus to everybody involved? She gave like all of her backup dancers a huge bonus, but down to the truck drivers that were hauling the sets, they got a bonus of $100,000. So it cost her like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to give out bonuses to absolutely everybody. But you get to see like their reaction, like the truck drivers, like, what is this? And yeah, that's easy to be like, look at this Disney princess. She's so great, but you get to see glimpses too of like how she is who she is and how intense she can be. But just like the stories of the dancers just made me bawl my eyes out. It really got me.
Are you just very susceptible to like pop stars? Because last year you talked about watching that Chapel Roan Pink Pony Club thing got you crying.
Maybe there is, I don't know, something about the emotions through pop music. Maybe there is some through line there. I don't know exactly.
Have you guys watched Pop Star Academy?
No.
Have you guys
watched
the formation
of
the
K-pop band Cat's Eye? You should watch it. That's what it's a documentary about young women trying to be pop stars.
Okay, I guess really I didn't know it, but I guess that's my cup of tea now.
Yeah.
I want you to watch some like sports documentaries that have kind of similar, like they're trying their absolute hardest kind of thing, and see if that works on you too, because those always get me.
Oh yeah, so. Last Dance. Yeah, I could not be more glued into every episode. But I mean, 30 for 30 is I'm super glued into all that stuff for sure.
Any human that's like trying really hard always makes me cry. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
And that's why I think like sports animes are like the best anime.
Yeah.
Watching those boys play volleyball.
Yeah, I guess. But even just
those horse girls run really fast.
What did everybody else do over the break?
I mostly just saw family. It was nice.
That does sound nice.
Ate some Christmas
I went to
cookies.
see Taylor Swift. So.
Yeah, okay, all right. Good.
Yeah,
privately.
cool.
Frostphorus says, with Claire Obscure being a bit of a come out of nowhere hit for most people last year, what do you think the odds are that your 2026 GOTY is a game that you're not currently aware of? How many times has this been happening to you recently?
Nearly
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I don't think it's going to be GTA 6 for me. And so it's like the options are like Grand Theft Auto, Resident Evil, it's like the Resident Evils are usually kind of like a comfortable like 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
Onimusha would be thrilled if it got on there, but yeah, it's like everything that I'm excited for now, I'm like, I know my level of excitement for this, and it's not like making me see the genre in a new way excited.
Yeah. Predict where GTA 6 is on the 210s. Hotshot.
3?
I was going to say 5.
Whoa.
What do you guys think? Is it
because we're all going to be contrarians about it, or because it's not going to actually be that good?
I don't know.
I think it'll be pretty high. I think 3, 2 or 3. I think.
Okay.
I think it's somewhere but in the top 3, almost certainly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like I used to love GTA so much, but as I think about it, I'm like I don't know, where would GTA 5 really land if the MinnMax crew back in 2013 was doing stuff. And then I'm like, yeah, but then where would Red Dead 2 land? You know, so I'm trying to do it all the math.
It's like GTA is more grading. That I guess Red Dead 2 was like interesting mechanically, in a way that like rubbed people the wrong way. But it's like, I'm really hoping that GTA 6 isn't just like fartbook.com level humor, but like that would be like a new, a bold new stance to not have like dog satire be the predominant tone of that game. So your fingers crossed.
It's been 12 years. I mean, since we've seen dog
It's been one game since they've had dog satire.
We'll see.
I'm optimistic about that aspect of GTA 6. Like, I think Red Dead Redemption 2 sort of pushed them in like a more serious direction.
Have you
I'm
guys
very
seen
hopeful.
the trailers?
Or it's like, thanks for hooking me up. Or whatever the
How
phrase
Yeah,
many
we're
is.
twerking on
will
the
there
hoods
be?
of cars and fishing alligators out of 7-Elevens and
Yeah, I mean, so we can't be like, it's just going to be the saddest Arthur Morgan moments. I don't think you'll be.
But I mean, but what we're not seeing in those trailers are like, well, maybe they're there, but they're very background, is like puns in like the sort of stores, and like the beer is called Pisswasser and stuff like that, right? Like that kind of stuff. Where I don't think
That'll
I'm seeing in the
sway
trailer.
it's 100% gonna still.
Yeah, I want some of that.
Those
I
are
want
the
some of
car
that.
models
Oh,
at
yeah.
this point. They're not gonna change that stuff. You're gonna go to Ammunition and the guy there is gonna be a character. Let me tell you.
That is actually a store in Florida. So that just exists.
So do we all think that 2026 GOTY is going to be a game we're not aware of? I think there's a pretty good chance.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
If-
It's just like best case scenario to get surprised like that with a game like a Rhythm Doctor or something out of nowhere.
If it's not GTA 6 for me, I'm the basic one who, like, if it's a really cool, super interactive open world, then that could be enough to do it for me. But otherwise, it's going to be some freak indie game that I have never heard of.
Can't
Some
wait.
roguelike.
Tell us what it is in the comments, everybody.
Just
Dominic,
start the document now. Some roguelike, number one.
What did we
Number
call
1
the
through
one
8.
from a scripted podcast yesterday? Like Cardvark, a
Cardvark.
roguelike adventure?
yeah. So just put that on your list now.
I could check
Jeff
my
loves Cardboard.
my Steam list right now to see if it's in my library. I wouldn't be able to tell you it wasn't.
Dominic Lee writes in and says, what game would sell best with an HD 2D treatment? GTA 5?
Chrono Trigger.
Oh. Chrono Trigger.
There's just a correct answer to this, and it's Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, that was my perspective too. Is like it's got to be a remake of some kind, right? I mean, because to invent a game out of thin air, we don't know what that is.
So
The story of Elliot or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, that's
That game's
interesting.
called.
Maybe it'll be the biggest game of the year. That's going to be our GOTY. Okay, but I know they got the pixel remaster treatment, but if it was full HD 2D, the square presentation, Octopath style, like Chrono Trigger would outsell Final Fantasy VI? Are we in agreement there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. If they both came out on the same day, right? I think Chrono Trigger would sell more.
Now, what about this? For a little twist outside of the Square arena, what if Nintendo made Tilt Shift HD 2D Mario 3? Would that outsell
wouldn't be
Chrono
that
Trigger
excited
HD 2D?
about that.
That's interesting. I was thinking, I was like, what if you did like Street Fighter 2 or so? Like what are the non-RPG games that could HD 2D themselves?
Spencer Gray in the chat actually has the right answer.
Correct.
Which is like I didn't even think of it, which is very stupid. But yeah, Pokemon Red and Blue, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
Like
that
that would outsell
At
Chrono
this point,
Trigger.
we're
I
just
would
saying
outsell everything.
what is the most popular game, though?
Most
Because I don't know
popular-
that would sell. Like, I think you could remake Red and Blue in any way, and it would sell incredibly.
That's fair.
Pokemon
Yeah,
Company,
you're right.
eat up your slop. We know it's not what you want, but you're gonna buy it.
Hey, speaking of which,
Pokemon, paper money and coin.
Blahbar Smartin writes in. They ask, what color is the best to put in a video game title? What color is the best to put in a video? Now, Pokemon, it's almost unfair to include when
The
you're thinking about
word
this.
or like the actual like a red logo?
No,
or
I
like
think
a,
the word is how I read this.
yeah.
No pun intended.
I think
there's a
the
lot of
coolest
blue.
sounding color word is silver.
But it's
I think
really
that's the coolest.
well.
The
my-
silver case. That's a game, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
There's also
And then
just a game
there's
called
like,
Silver on the Dreamcast.
I feel like there's a couple of blue, right? There's
Blue Dragon.
isn't there Blue Dragon, the
Dragon.
Guilty Gear? Isn't there like the Arc System game that has the word blue in it? Am I crazy?
Oh, Blue Blaze.
And Blue Singer on
Blue-
Dreamcast.
Yep.
You got
yeah.
Red Dead. You got Red Faction. What more
Yeah,
do you need? Come on.
Red is pretty.
Yeah.
It's a competitor. Ninja Gaiden
Blueprint,
Black.
yeah.
Black's probably
Do you have
the
any
cool
purples?
word. Yes, Crash Bandicoot Purple and Spyro Orange on the Game Boy Advance.
Oh.
They had that double pack,
Or
and that's
isn't-
the way it was
at
labeled.
the danger of being completely wrong about this, isn't purple kind of considered a negative color in Japan because it's like representative of death? Which is why you don't see a lot of like you wouldn't see purple in like a title in a Japanese game or anything like that.
Really?
Right?
I hadn't heard that.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong about that.
Huh. So the answer is red?
Red
Oh.
or blue?
Blue engages me more than red. I'm more excited about blue.
Red's more violent. Red seems like an action game where there's some blood that's going to spill.
But I think Kelsey's right about the blue doesn't sound cool, and silver does, because silver could be like a medal. It could be a medal, MEDAL.
Yeah.
Could be all sorts of things.
Ooh, chat. Yeah, they're bringing up blueprints if we didn't mention that. Yeah, the orange box counts for a lot. Yeah, there was just a game.
That's the only Valve really cornered that. Well, I guess there's like a Crash Bandicoot. There's a GBA game, right? Like you were saying, like Spyro, Crash, Spyro Orange or whatever.
But I mean, do we have to give extra credence to the games that are just called the color name? Like there was a game called Black, the shooter on PS2.
And a game called Silver.
So yeah, I mean, so I feel
A
like
game called Wet. What are we doing?
that's a weird way to pronounce white.
That's my favorite color.
Now I'm fascinated by this. Other game names that have colors in them. Silver the Hedgehog. Yeah, he doesn't have his own game chat. Doesn't count.
Lunar Silver Star Story.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, damn it, that's good. Good
Great
question.
Silver Gun.
Jesus,
Silver
Kelsey,
Gun sounds
stop.
awesome.
It does. I want a silver gun.
Right?
Is
There's a
brown?
2016 game on Steam called Cobalt.
Okay, yeah, Kyle.
We all
Call of
remember it.
Duty Big Red 1.
Oh, don't forget about the big red one. But chat's wondering,
Oh,
is
the
there?
Silver Case.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's that. These are quality games.
On Steam, you have Silver Pine, Silver Bullet, Silver Days, Silver Chains, Silver Blue, actually.
Haunted by Silver
Blue.
Femboy.
Wait, I
Silver
think I
Knight.
like that the
Like
most.
these are cool. These are cool sounding names.
Yeah. Is there?
Sonic and the Black Knight.
Yeah, that's right. Is there anything with brown in the title? Is there a single brown game?
There's gotta be.
I don't know if there is. Let me just go to
The
Steam
brown
real
box.
quick. Look for brown.
Pinball FX,
Pinball
a Charlie
FX,
Brown's Christmas.
All right, I stand corrected.
Oh my god!
Truly
How did
the
we not do
finest.
this for a new show plus? There's a Charlie Brown Christmas or pinball table.
Yeah, brown is just
I
getting
like how we
shafted.
we can't come to a consensus on the best, but I think we've landed on the worst.
Yeah, no one wants a brown game.
I think that this is just an opportunity in the market. Nobody's made a brown
That is
game
true.
yet.
There is Brown
They've
Bob.
only made Charlie Brown games.
Okay, Brown Bob released on Steam in 2023, and it's got 2 Steam reviews. So I guess it's kind of everything's been picked over. At this
There
point.
is also Code Brown, a game about pooping.
Yeah, I like if they were still making those South Park
Fantastic.
RPGs, there would be a game with Brown in the title.
Yeah, I guess so.
For the good of the world, they stopped.
Kelsey, for the good of the world, you tell me if this is too much. Normally when there's those questions where it's like, who would win in a fight? Mario, Master Chief. That's where I check out as a dork. However, this person wrote in with a question that was, in a Taylor Swift-esque way, a sniper shot to my heart. So bear with us, please. But you can raise your hand and we'll abandon this question at any point. Kevin Klez asks, how many Navi does it take to take down a T-800 from Terminator? Right, so it's
Not that many.
not that
okay,
many.
Kelsey. Kelsey just left.
So they have bows and arrows.
Boys.
They're not penetrating the exoskeleton, right? Endoskeleton, whatever the hell he has.
Dude, Navi can take out like a helicopter with a bow and arrow. I
Glass,
think
that's
one
glass.
could take out a T-800.
No,
I think they grab it with the little pterodactyl, bring it out to the ocean, drop it in,
if you saw Terminator
You guys
Dark
are still
Fate,
talking about this?
it hasn't
wrong
been
with
that
you?
long.
I did see Terminator.
Wait, what
Dark
time
Fate.
is
I
it?
actually really like that.
I did
movie.
too, but they march on the bottom of the ocean in Terminator Dark Fate, I believe, right? So I
Yeah,
think
they
he would
kick
just
it out.
march back to the water village and kill
No,
them
but you
all.
feed it to Pyacon.
Oh, so he'd be stuck in the digestive part of a whale. That's pretty good.
Also, to bring in some expertise.
You could drop them in a volcano. They melt in volcanoes. We know that.
Yeah, you get Turok Makto picks up the T-800, drops in a volcano, one Navi.
Dude, he would
Truly.
But
I have taken out so many mechs playing the Avatar video game by myself with bows and arrows. Like, they'd be fine.
a mech
This
is
wouldn't be
different
problem.
from a
They're 9 feet
Terminator.
tall.
I think he could rip off Turok Makto's feet if they
Well,
try
what
to
can a
pick him
Terminator
up.
do without a gun? Or
Okay,
with a gun?
Natron
Doesn't
B
have
in the
laser
comments.
eyes. It's just a strong
Natron B in the comments
robot.
just said Sarah Connor, one woman, took out a T-800. So
Yeah,
what are
with
we
like,
even talking about?
yeah, the Navi don't have crushing presses. Famously.
Neither did she. She found one. She made do.
She's resourceful.
These are the questions people should be asking James Cameron, not about how he was able to do sort of like stereoscopic lenses that
true.
overlapped.
But I want to hear about that a little bit.
That is cool that they figured that out.
No doubt. Okay, wake up, Kelsey. Wake up. We're here. Come back. Come back.
Can I just say this is the first time I've ever regretted being on MinnMax?
Joe Dean writes in. They say, welcome back. Thank you. After playing Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, I was wondering or thinking if there's a single character design who's cooler than Samus. Every permutation of Samus's classic suit looks awesome. Is there a character you believe has as many iterations of their design do you think looks cooler than Samus? Also, baby steps for number one spot on the 210s. Thank you, Joe Dean.
Well, now I agree with him. Whatever he said. What, Samus? Sure. Samus looks super cool.
This guy's
I'm
got
not
great
even-
taste, sure.
I'm not even like a fan, but I do go to bat for the very simple design of Sonic the Hedgehog. I think that is like an undeniable design that like every kid is just totally enamored with, like immediately. I don't know why, but like Sonic is just like show your kids Sonic, Deflum, and tell me if they don't think Sonic looks cool.
Name another game
Yeah, he
series
does,
that hasn't
but-
had a good game in 20 years that everyone still knows the character of. It works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's probably the answer. You know what I was thinking about recently? It's outside of the world of games, but I think Spider-Gwen might be the coolest looking superhero and nothing else is even close in the arena, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spider-Gwen and
I kind of
Spider-Verse.
agree.
That hoodie
I
is
have-
like so freaking cool.
Yeah.
I have her skin in Fortnite, and they did like a really good job of like putting the Spider-Verse aesthetic in Fortnite, and it is like it's the best skin to play as. You look so cool.
That's good. Kat Pernicus writes in, what if after the GOTY list is finalized, everyone gets one poison dart to kill a game? The official list stays, but the aftermath turns into pure chaos, revenge, betrayal, and glorious backstabbing. Yeah, kind of the poison
was a
shuriken
blur.
style
Yeah, we did that. Come on.
for other lists, but it's kind of a fun idea for if the Pissy Zone also just had us shurikening things off the
What would
list.
the list look like after that?
Yeah, it wouldn't be
Because
official.
would we all actually kill something?
I
Would
don't
you
know if
say?
there's anything I'm angry about being on the list, if that makes sense, right?
It would be like an early days Arc Raiders match where we'd all just be like friendly.
You think so?
Don't do it.
If
That'd be lame.
it would be I think if it was only introduced at the very end, we wouldn't. If we were aware of the presence of the poison dart the whole time, then like, sure, Donkey Kong, come on the list.
Fancy Graham writes in, can we address the giant elephant in the room? Beyblade? Even as a kid, I thought it was a fad, but my 14-year-old and 6-year-old daughters are super into it. Can you explain why Beyblade endures?
That's fascinating.
Because it's violent.
Violent? Really?
Yeah. My daughter went through a Beyblade
Yeah,
phase
they
for
they
sure.
really are.
Beyblade phase?
We went to a friend's Christmas party. They had their big family had a Christmas party, and they did a lucky kid contest where it's like each age group they took all the names and they put them in a hat and they pulled it out. And my 5-year-old won a Beyblade set. He was the lucky boy. And they are surprisingly violent. You don't want to get your face in there when you start spinning those tops around.
And
it's like a toy that you're encouraged to have them bash against each other to destroy one another. Like I get it. It's fun to sort of rip that cord and watch them destroy each other.
And how do you win? I've never played with a Beyblade in my life.
There's a scoring system.
It's not just like the last one's still spinning or something?
You knock them down. If they like break, if pieces come flying off because they can come apart, you get extra points or some crap. If you knock them out of the arena, the instruction manual contains an entire scoring system that I don't think anyone takes seriously, except for the people who play in tournaments who apparently take it super seriously.
And there was an anime, right? Okay.
Yeah,
I
never watched
that was on
And a
when I
manga,
was a kid.
and
yeah.
there's been like
There's
8 video games too.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I think I
Like it's like the way it's
constructed.
constructed is like it breaks apart into pieces, and then it's fun to put back together too, and like
Okay.
so.
All right. Well, this is already on the list for New Show Plus, by the way, Jeff. When we
Get your
really into
kids
Beyblade stuff.
some Beyblades and let them go to town.
Okay. It sounds cool. Yeah, I got to get into it. Lauren writes in, they say, my Better Quest goal for 2026 is to revisit an old passion of mine, running. It's been 5 years since I've last done a run due to busy work life, injury, and not making enough time for myself, specifically my health. I've joined my local running club, and I'm really enjoying meeting new people. Way to go. Way to go, Lauren, out there. Everybody write in with your Better Quest goals for 2026. One of our goals, ironically, for MinnMax in 2026 is to make more Better Quest content. So be on the lookout for that. There are things in the works. Kevin Cooper writes in, they say, I work at a homeless shelter for kids, and when they go to bed, I have a decent chunk of downtime. I've considered bringing my Steam Deck or Switch in to help kill the time, but I think it'd be viewed as unprofessional. However, I see other staff playing games on their phone when the kids go to sleep, and I feel frustrated. This is considered normal, but a handheld console would be perceived differently. What do you all think of this? You're right.
I have that thought for sure. If I'm going somewhere and I know I'm going to be waiting around for a while, I'm like, oh, it would be good to bring is my Switch. I always second guess it and maybe grab like a Kindle instead, or just commit to doing something on my phone, Because you're worried about people judging you? I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I think part of it is the planning required. And I'm not saying this like makes sense, but it's like if you're playing a game on your phone, it's like, I just found myself with some time. And so I'm going to, play Words with Friends. If you are bringing a Steam Deck to your child watching the job, you're like, for part of this time, I'm playing video games while I watch these kids, which even if it's the same level of diverted attention, I think it seems more. Yeah, but I don't think people would feel that way about bringing a book. So it still is, there is some kind of double standard.
Yeah, why is a book different? Because that's also premeditated.
Yeah.
But it's just not as fun, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Because you're not like
Education.
Yeah, you're learning instead, even if you're not.
Yeah, I was thinking, is it like the commitment of like the two hands? Like if you can do something with one hand, you still feel like half your body is engaged in the real world. But if you got two hands on that Steam Deck, then it's right out.
Cool guy reading a book with one hand.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still engaged. Tough call, but it does. Yeah, I get that feeling. If I was like putting the baby down to sleep and I was just like playing a game on my phone, I wouldn't feel guilty about it. But if I was trying to put her down to sleep and I had my Steam Deck, then my wife would be like, what the hell are you doing? You're being an asshole. It's like it feels different, but I get it. Tricky. So should Kevin just get better games on his phone or fight the stereotypes?
I think that literally yes. I just get Balatro and Slay the Spire on your phone, and then
Balatro, there you go.
You're set.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Sorry, Kevin, but good on you. Seems like a noble job.
Grindstone too.
Oh yeah, Grindstone. Okay, what do y'all like for question of the week?
Not
I like
that
the Navi
you're
versus
fighting
Terminator.
one.
I was leaning towards only the Navi versus the T800 one, personally.
And we never did get a number from Kelsey, which is really upsetting.
I'm
A
gonna.
number of what?
How many Navi would it take to destroy a Terminator and a T800?
6, 7.
Keep your
Yeah,
secrets.
she said it. We got her to say it. We
good
got her to say it. Men.
Social clip.
And just that. I like the one about the colors in the video game titles. Like that one.
I did too.
I like that one too.
That's the level of dorky. All right. Congratulations, Blobars Martin. you just won question of the week from I Am 8-Bit. They're going to ship out, of course, Ori and the Blind Forest right to you. Now it's time for something that we call Get a Load of This.
Get a load of this. This is terrible. Razer is releasing some sort of stupid AI companion for your desk that's like a hologram that talks to you and flirts with you and tells you you're doing really good at your video games and you're such a good boy, you're such a good girl, you're doing so great, everything you do is great. And God, read the room.
But Kelsey, it's generated by a really normal AI company, right?
Right. Sorry, it's powered by Grok. I should have said that. I should have led with that, actually.
Oh, well,
I think that
was
it's totally normal interactions with children.
Jesus Christ.
I think I was thinking about this because I read about this yesterday and I've been thinking about it ever since. And I think I'm less mad about the product and more just like, I just want to shake people and be like, engaging with other humans is a good thing. Like,
Yes.
Sometimes talking to humans is hard and that's the point and it's good. Please, for the love of God, stop isolating yourselves. Please reach out. Get hurt every once in a while, but talk to people. Talk to real, actual humans.
They're messy, but kind of fun sometimes.
Yes, we all are.
Another social
That's the
clip.
point.
We can't. We're just as bad as AI if we only think in terms of social clips. We're better than this team. Hey, get a load of this. Old friend Ronnie, he sent me this video, and I'd never seen it before, but it's fascinating. It's a YouTube video. It's a short one just called The Beatles Moments Dialogue with a Homeless Guy. And the context is it's like John Lennon in the 70s, and there's like a deranged fan who had been sleeping like in his bushes, and he's there. I don't know what it's from, like a documentary or something, but he's talking to him, and the guy who's tripping on something, he's just like, oh, you wrote all those songs about me. Like, I knew that you were writing those songs about me. And hearing John Lennon, like, it's fascinating to hear this legend of culture, this icon, like, bash his own work, where he's like, no. He's like, that was just nonsense words I put together while sitting on the crapper. He's like, there's nothing there. He's like, all these words, it's just a fun mishmash of words. I promise it's not anything that you should have any meaning in whatsoever. And the guy's like, no, I mean, what about when you said like, we're going to carry that weight? Like that was about me. And he's like, well, Paul sang that one, so that wasn't me, first of all. But it's just fascinating footage to see. So there's a link in the description if you want to see this stuff.
Get a load of this. This is kind of a self-serving one because it's a podcast and I was recently on an episode of it, but I was a fan before and have grown to be a bigger fan afterwards. What's all this then? Is a podcast hosted by Charlotte McDonnell and Libby Watson, and it's just kind of a show about British stuff where they are both kind of Brits living in Canada and LA now, and they get on largely American guests to just talk about topics such as Mr. Bean or Thomas the Tank Engine or Tesco, and just kind of like talk about what a silly little place Britain is. It's a really, really funny show. I was on an episode about Grand Designs, which is Ben and I's favorite show.
The best.
And yeah, it's a good podcast, and the theme song will get stuck in your head forever.
Great job. I really enjoyed that podcast. It's worth checking out. It was a tough sell because I was driving with my wife, and I'm like, hey, Jacob did a podcast all about Grand Designs. You want to listen to it? She's like, hell yeah, I love Grand Designs. And we just jump into it, and it's like talking
And the first 15 minutes are about video games.
And I was like, well, surely. And I jumped ahead an hour, and the quote that sent her into a blind rage was the host going like, yeah, I'm thinking about getting an electric drum kit. She's like, wait, when are we going to start talking about Grand Designs? Get to the point. But eventually it got there, and it was glorious, so thank you.
Get a load of this. Kyle snoozed too long. This is a video talking about an anecdote that was originally, I think, in the book called The Book of CP System by Fabian Sanglard. But basically, it is a quick anecdote about Street Fighter II, The World Warrior. When it came out in arcade, it had a typo that they didn't realize. They spelt warrior with an E. and they didn't realize it until it was about to be shipped, and they said that they fixed it through Guile's leg is the kind of overarching sales pitch of it, and basically what they had to do, all of the pixel art was already set because those ROMs had to be finalized earlier than the programming ROM memory. And so they could program different things, but they had to use the pixels that they already did. And so they took the L and the O from world and they moved them over to make it look like an I and an O, but the L still looked like an L, and because the top little part of the eye wasn't cut off. And so the way that they managed to fix it was in Guile's, sprite sheet. There's a sprite where he's kind of sideways, and there's one tile of the sprite sheet where there's just a single pixel. It was just in the very corner that it cut off this one pixel. And they took that tile and they duplicated it 4 times to cut off the top of the L from the bottom of the L and make it look like an I. And that saved an embarrassing typo for. And it's
if you look at the logo, you can see that the letter looks together. A little weird.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's Capcom, right? The Street Fighter. Years later, they had the Resident Evil Revelations 3DS game where they had the misspelling on the spot.
Oh, right.
And there's no fixing that.
Revelatons. Yeah, classic.
Yeah. Hey, get a load of this. This has been around for a while, but I never heard it. But Sayonara Wild Hearts, great game, whose soundtrack I listen to often. I like its Claire de Lune rendition. It's one of my favorite versions of that song. But you can find where they had released the demos and unused tracks from Sayonara Wild Hearts, which I found very charming because I know that soundtrack very well. So it is really cool to hear, the incomplete versions of those songs or the versions of those songs that they gave to the singers they eventually brought on to re-sing them and stuff like that. But there's a YouTube video that has it's an hour and a half of just this sort of the versions of the soundtrack that would later, be changed and fixed to be in the final game. So it's a really cool listen if you're as close to that soundtrack as I am. I love that soundtrack. And
shout out to Design Room, Matt Leon's oral history website, that oral history about one of the stages in Sayonara Wild Hearts. By the way, it was on my list of games to play over the break because I still have never booted that game up, and I know I would love it, and so I meant to get to it. But
very long either. Yeah,
it takes 30 minutes.
Yeah, but still. Hey, get a load of this. From the community in the Discord, they share fun stories all day, every day. It's the greatest news feed I've ever seen on the internet. But over the break, Thickeroni with Cheese shared this angry video game nerd video about the PS1 game E.T. Interplanetary Mission. Do you guys know about this Easter egg in this game? Mm-mm. Because angry video game nerds is all the video is kind of all hinging on this Easter egg where if you put in a secret code during the credits of E.T. Interplanetary Mission, as there's just a picture of peaceful E.T. in the background in PS1 art, the text scrolls by and it just says, "Fuck off Bin Laden." In the credits for the E.T. game. It was a different time. All right, well, there we go. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in this episode of the MinnMax Show. Greatly appreciate it. It's nice to be back. We're excited to jump into this new year, rotate through all these fun folks. Thanks again for your support on Patreon and all the kind words about, the Game of the Year debates. Obviously, people have strong opinions on all of those debates, but God bless you for keeping it civil out there. We appreciate it. And this week at MinnMax, we have a bunch of stuff. A New Show Plus, we referenced it earlier, but it is another episode of a scripted podcast, where this time it was Janet and Kelsey and I trying to script out the 210s, a hypothetical version of our Game of the Year debates. And then we get the full crew to act it out, even if some people are being played by other people doing impersonations of those cohorts. So it's a fun time up there on YouTube if you want to check that out. Also, if you missed it over the break, we put up a best of for MinnMax for 2025. So it's an hour of kind of the best moments if you want to check that out on YouTube and relive some things that you might have missed. Bonus pod this week. It was a very dorky one, but hopefully you're into it. It is Haley and I going over all of the analytics from MinnMax in 2025 and all of the survey results as well. We sent out a survey to all the MinnMax supporters. So if you are just a fan of diving into numbers, getting behind the scenes on a small media operation like MinnMax, we share like, which video got us the most subs on YouTube, the most popular, least popular episodes of the MinnMax show. The one that I thought was fascinating is the biggest drop off in podcast listenership. Like what transition when talking about this game to this game was there the biggest plummet on total money that we made on YouTube last year. If you're a fan of just diving in the weeds on that, it's a fun episode. What percentage of people think that I should stop hosting the MinnMax show? That's all in the survey, baby. Tune into Bonus Pod to learn. I'm fine. I'm staying here. Don't worry, everybody. But all that data is in that thing and more. All right.
Yeah, you're bearing the lead, Ben. You know that, right?
What was
You
that?
also read old messages you sent in dating apps
Well,
back when you were a bachelor.
yeah.
Yeah, classic MinnMax data.
Data apps? Is that the name of the Neutral Plus series? Yeah, it was embarrassing, but you can dive in there and enjoy that. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Anybody got any wise words for the first episode back?
Be good, have fun, let's go.